when I said it's modern day and it's the modern day footballer, Munoz has actually done a couple of things that he's looked quite angry about.
Yeah.
You know, and he's tried to sort of enthuse the crowd a little bit, and he's also tried to enthuse his teammates. But
that's that competitive instinct of certain players that you can't, nothing will ever change. He's just absolutely determined to win every challenge.
Yeah, and things have moved on. You know, players don't get as aggressive as they used to, and they don't self-police as they used to. And I'm not criticising it at all. It's the modern day way. They stay level-headed, they stay grounded, and they try and find a way out on that pitch without getting aggressive. And
I think he would have fit in any era Wharton. Munoz.
Yeah, I mean, stamina levels are off the chart, and he can control this line. He can break forward 20 times and filter back 20 times. It doesn't impact him at all. His stamina levels are incredible.
And yet another player in this Palace squad, Steve, that is playing top six football, but could play for any of those traditional top six big clubs, don't you think, Munoz, level?
I think there's a few in this Palace side now that could make the transition into what the so-called big clubs, but I would argue that Crystal Palace are in such a good position at the moment that if you're getting paid handsomely, the grass isn't always greener. So you know, I think they think twice about jumping ship now, whereas I think 10-15 years ago players would just jump ship to the big four, big five just for a wage increase, but the level of wages is so good now that you can pick up a very, very healthy wage for a team that's doing extremely well, and Palace are doing it very well, and I guess finance are in such a position that they can pay their players enough not to have to leave when the first big club comes knocking.
I haven't forgotten the business Palace did that January when things were looking very bleak, and they brought in Munoz and Wharton. Incredible signings, as it's turned out. As Casemiro has it, sends it out towards the left-hand side to Dalot, just caught there by Richards. It's another foul right in the edge of the box. No, he's not giving it. And I actually think Dalot hung his leg out there, but I thought he was going to get it.
It's good refereeing. Just seeing a little replay now.
Maybe not. Oh no, it's a foul, I think. Now Nketiah's gone down. This is going to be a yellow card for Luke Shaw.
That one's undeniable because excellent from Nketiah. Lovely, good tight turn. Good control of the ball as well, taking it round the corner. Shaw knew he was beat, dragged him back intentionally, and that will only lead to one thing, and that's a yellow card. I just wondered how much of an impact the Sarr injuries had.
Oh yeah,
you know, because, you know, because he didn't come off till quite late in that first half, and even, you know, we were saying he wasn't quite at the levels he's been at because that obviously impacted him that first challenge early in the game. It is Nketiah for all his qualities won't offer the same as what Sarr can offer.
No, he's the manager who's very, very open about talking tactics before matches and after matches. Oliver Glasner just spoke about what Sarr offers in terms of that ability to run in behind, stretch the play, and he's saying we haven't really got another like-for-like in the squad, so he was already signposting that that's what they require at the moment. If things stay this way, Manchester United would move above Crystal Palace in the table, up to 6th in the Premier League, level with Aston Villa on points, who play Wolves, of course, this weekend. Sunderland, incredibly, after their victory over Bournemouth, newly promoted Sunderland, who came up through the playoffs, are in 4th place, a point above Manchester United in the current table. Palace 7th on 20 points, with Brighton still to play against Nottingham Forest, 1 point behind them in the table. Lots going to happen this afternoon in terms of the Premier League table, because there's lots of teams playing. We've got West Ham against Liverpool live coming up with Total Sport on BBC Radio London. Sohail Sahi will be taking you through that one, with West Ham 17th in the table, just outside the bottom 3, above Leeds on goal difference. Chance to move and give themselves a bit of a gap there away from the bottom 3 if they could beat Liverpool this afternoon, who are only 7 points above them. That looks like a foul on the far side of the pitch in front of the travelling fans. There's going to be a yellow card for Mark Gay, I think, as Mazraoui is held back as he was just trying to run onto a ball into the penalty area. 16 minutes to go. Palace 1, Man United 2.
Yeah, good turn from Mazraoui. He just lets it run across, and Gay's body weight was going the wrong way and he couldn't adjust it quick enough. Knew he was beaten when that ball got let go across the line, and the arm comes out and drags him back without any shadow of a doubt. It's a foul, and it gives Manchester a great opportunity. I mean, it literally is 2 yards off the corner of the 18-yard box on the right-hand side. So Fernandez with an outswinger. But you know one thing, this is probably going to be right in the slot it needs to be. So some good defensive heads required here.
Palace have brought everyone back for this free kick. Oliver Glasner's watching from the edge of his technical area. Fernandez sends the free kick in. It flicks way up in the air off Mitchell. De Ligt tries to nod it down, and then it's hooked away by Mateta, and then Dallo has slammed that miles over the bar.
Yeah, he's rushed it. Look, the touch went right underneath him, and then you've just got to get a half volley away, because what you don't want to do is get caught in possession for the counter-attack. 2 balls on the pitch, but yeah, that ball was always rising as soon as contact was made.
Another question for you, Steve, is that you understand that obviously the Palace team have been so strong at the start of this season, so that would make the manager think, I don't want to change the team too much, even with all the games. But when it is dipping like this,
yeah,
he hasn't looked to his bench this season that much in terms of how much, given how many games they've had. Is that another indication that he's a little reluctant to go for some of those at the substitutes available today?
I think that's a valid question, given the fact that he's not changed everything after seeing his team sort of drop away.
Gay's dropped on that, but he hasn't got rid of it. Xerxes latching onto it now, and Burmo turns the defender and then gets the shot away, but it's straight at Henderson, and it remains 2-1 to Manchester United.
Yeah, and
they got away with that.
Well, and there's grumbles around us. It's very difficult for Gay to deal with, and he just stumbles in. He tries to chest it. I don't know, or does he dip enough to try and head it? I'm not quite sure. But whatever he tried, he got it wrong. And
two forwards right on him, weren't they?
Yeah, and they pounced on it, and they should have done better with that. I thought the cutback from Burmo was excellent to get onto his right, and then the right foot shot was nowhere near the quality required to beat Henderson.
Mateta trying to break away here from Mazraoui, who's shown good strength there to shield the ball, and then there's a free kick comes Manchester United's way. That was just good defending. Stop Mateta getting the first touch on that.
Yeah, he was always going to give that. Once Mazraoui got his body in the way and was protecting the ball, I couldn't see anything but a free kick given. We are fine. This is what I was just about to say in answer to your question. It's a valid question, because he's not done anything off the bench. We are now seeing movement off the bench, but we're 77 minutes in. And I will have to say on this viewing that the midweek game has had an impact on this second 45 minutes fitness levels wise, without any shadow of a doubt.
Replacing number 20 Adam Walton is number 19 Will Hughes.
So Hughes is coming on.
Number 10 Giro Pino is number 12 Christantas Uche.
And Christantas Uche is coming on for Pino.
Yeah, and that tells you how much the levels dropped from Morton, because he was exceptional first 45 minutes. He was the best player on the park. Now we know he's had his illnesses and he's had his injury, and they're probably protecting him at this point, but he's been significantly less of a figure for Crystal Palace in the second 45, and that goes in tune with the performance itself. They've been nowhere near as threatening. They've not created anything like the opportunities, and they've allowed Manchester United to score twice with some real sloppy play.
And this will be worrying for Oliver Glasner and the Palace fans, that they were good enough in that first half to possibly win a couple of games the way they were playing, that they haven't taken the opportunities these last couple of games. And I think it was fair to say that the attacking wise in the Brighton game weren't quite at their very best, as shown by the scoreline, but maybe just the fatigue was setting in by then before the international break. But the worry is that there's going to be more and more of this, because there's just so many games for these Palace players to play. But every time that's been questioned of them so far this season, they've dealt with it.
Yeah. But it goes back to the argument that will continue to rumble on for a long time, is how can you just keep loading more and more games just for financial gain, as the governing bodies do, it without any shadow of a doubt having an impact on games across the domestic season.
And it seems even more difficult, as you'd expect, for a team that has not been in European football before, hasn't had the chance to build that kind of squad with 2 players for every position. That's what Palace having to deal with this season.
But even if you have, Andy, you've got the problem that the ones that are the second player of those 2 don't get enough minutes these days, because 21's football is not like old style reserve team football. It's not anywhere near as competitive as it used to be. So the fitness levels of the players out the team aren't anywhere near the levels they need to be. And there's a turnover here in a very poor position. Man United countering.
Ball up the left-hand side to Mbermo. Floated cross looking for Xerxes. Henderson's come a long way and punched it. And it'll go all the way out to Mazraoui on the right touchline. Sliding tackle comes in from Nketiah. And that's going to be a throw into United in front of the away fans on the right-hand side for them.
Yeah, Zuche, the substitute, just fell to the ground and turned over under pressure, and it's a little numerical advantage down this left-hand side for Man United. They didn't make the most of that. Has resulted in a thrown high up the pitch, but yeah, I mean, it's such a shame, because that first half was so good from the home side. It was so dominant, and yet this second half is completely and utterly chalk and cheese. It's full of mistakes. It's sloppy. The fitness levels have dropped to an unrecognisable level.
Oliver Glasner's slumped in his chair in the dugout at the moment. He's a picture of frustration.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And look, it's not being critical. It's just circumstance. I actually feel sorry. If this is indeed proven that Thursday night's game has impacted the second half of this for fitness levels, it's unfortunate and it's unfair. Because they were without question the better side, and I do think they are a good side, Crystal Palace. They're in better nick than Man United at the moment.
Fernandes, decent cross, headed away by Richards. Mount drags his shot across goal. It's gone straight up in the air and caught by the goalkeeper, but already out over the goal line off the deflection off Lacroix, and it will be a corner to Manchester United. Lisandro Martinez is being readied. I mentioned he's had a long time out with injury, but he will be on shortly for Manchester United.
I think they're doing it now, yeah. But I get that. In terms of Shaw's on a booking,
it's number 6, Lisandro Martinez.
You're just protecting Shaw a little bit.
The thing is with United these days, Steve, they get a week off between fixtures because it's not in Europe anymore, right? So, I know it's only Monday this week.
And that probably is a consequence of what you're seeing here. Is when it was like for like in the first 45 minutes, Crystal Palace were the better team, without any shadow of a doubt. They were running riot through the centre of the pitch, and Casemiro and Fernandes just couldn't deal with what Crystal Palace had, energy-wise, tempo-wise, and with the quality of Wharton in that first 45 minutes struggled. But we have seen a significant drop-off in fitness levels here from Crystal Palace. They haven't been able to compete.
8 minutes to go to try and find an equaliser for the Eagles as the ball is played deep into the box from the corner. It's headed down. Casemiro puts it over, but the flag was up, and it's a free kick to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, and the thing is,
the lick penalised.
Yeah, and the thing is, someone in data or analysis will tell me we covered as much ground, if not more, second up. But you didn't get tight. You made 25 different turnovers in positions that were, where you just shouldn't have turned the ball over because fitness levels have dropped. It impacts everything. It impacts the fact that you can't do what you want to do physically. You can't get tight. You can't affect the opposition.
Mount, that's a decent pass, looking for the run of Ahmad, but Mitchell deals with it. Now Kamada, chased back towards his own goal line. Back to Henderson he goes. The England goalkeeper sends it upfield, left-footed, headed down by Mazraoui. Casemiro.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, lost the header, dropped down, Casemiro under no pressure, just flips it to, it just
didn't happen first half, did it?
It didn't happen once.
Yeah.
In fact, they got bullied a little bit.
He's strolling, isn't he?
Yeah, they got bullied, they got outplayed, and they just can't get near anything at the moment. And I will say this, I'm not really one for saying, they're professional footballers, they're fit, they should be, the conditioning levels that they have now, the staff that they have on site, the diets, everything's the best it's ever been. But you probably can only do so much. There's travelling, late night, sleeping patterns disrupted.
Yeah. Mazraoui forward to Mbermo. Mbermo just outside the penalty area. Could fire this one in, as he's done so often for Brentford and Manchester United in recent times, but he's sliced it wide. He's frustrated now, and another change coming up for Palace. A couple, in fact. Lerma is coming on, as well as Devaney. So Kamada will make way. He was looking a bit leggy.
Yeah, again, like quite a lot of the Crystal Palace players, has not impacted this second half.
And Mitchell will make way as well. Mitchell has been such an ever-present really for Palace. He's going to be replaced by Devaney on the left-hand side, which is not a kind of a like-for-like really. As Henderson sends it forward, and Nketiah went up for the flick on. It's going to drop just outside the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Uche trying to lay it off to a teammate, the player on loan from Getafe, signed on loan in September. Hughes up the left-hand side. Devaney, chance for a cross. And there you go. That's sliced miles over the goal into the Holmesdale, and they are just checking themselves before showing too much frustration with that, because they want to support the young man, but that was one he knew he had to take on really in that position, because there were players in the box waiting for the cross, but just sliced it.
Yeah, and look, you have technical breakdowns, and it's frustrating for fans, but they know the player doesn't mean it, and so there's a frustration. It moves on, but they sensed, like we sensed in the commentary box, that after 5-6 minutes of this second half, the crowd went quiet, because it's a very vibrant crowd here, and they make a lot of noise, and they get behind this side, and they had done for the entire first 45 minutes. They were really pleased with what their team delivered, and they've not had a great deal to get behind, because you think about how many times we've seen the ball in the Manchester United penalty box in this second 45, it's very limited, whereas first half it was non-stop action in there.
Lisandro Martinez has given away a free kick there with a robust challenge near the touchline on Uche, and Hughes comes across to take the free kick, the former Derby and Watford midfielder, standing over this with his trusty left foot, about to send in a delivery here. Palace have sent virtually everyone forward as well, bar the goalkeeper and Munoz. Manchester United dragging everyone back towards the Holmesdale end. Here's the free kick then from Hughes. It's going to be met by a Manchester United player first. Zirkzee heads it away as far as Munoz. Munoz lofts it back up towards Hughes. Hughes heads it down, then it's hooked clear by Casemiro. Devaney back to the edge of the box, nodded down by Nketiah. Lacroix. Oh, the flag's up. And Steve, you'd seen that before me, because I could tell your body language is slumped, as if to say moment's gone.
Yeah, you've got a little block of wood in your way as well, but just unfortunate, because just couldn't get back goal side quick enough, and the header was made, and as soon as contact was made, I knew the flag was going up. But
Oliver Glasner's furious.
Well, they really have stuttered second 45, and there needs to be a really good explanation as to why, because this isn't a confidence thing. These guys are excellent at home. They showed the quality in the first 45 minutes of what they can deliver, but this second half has really got away from them. And I guess the most disappointing thing from Glasgow's perspective is the manner of the two goals that they've conceded. Despite the performance dipping away, they've allowed Man United to score twice, and the free kick through the wall is
even once it's got through the wall, I think people would expect the keeper to get to it.
You can't cover holes in the wall like that. They separated. They just completely there should be a charger that charges any ball that's laid off either side. The wall still shouldn't separate.
They've gone to sleep on the drop down to Zirkzee. No one's just gone across with him.
Yeah, again, Kamada a yard or two off doesn't get it. You can be beaten to the ball. You can allow your opponent to chest it, but get yourself in between the shot and the goal. Make a block. Didn't do that either. Allowed a free shot to come in. So the manner in the goals were really disappointing.
Not far away from live commentary of West Ham against Liverpool. Emotional day at West Ham in store, and a team in Liverpool that showing rare vulnerability at the start of this season. But we've still got the finish to this one. Palace chasing an equaliser against Manchester United after having led at half-time, conceding to Xerxes and Mount. Can they find a late equaliser here? It's Hughes, fouled by Fernandez, but the referee says play can continue. Points to the ball as if to say, you've got possession, you can play on. Out to the left-hand side to Devaney. Bless you, Steve.
Sorry.
Richards playing the ball up the right-hand side to Uche. Just holds on to possession for a moment, then pokes it back in field. Now Lerma, Richards. Palace fans want them to get a ball in now, getting impatient. Hughes, nice control, gives himself a yard of space, but Casemiro gets something on that pass, goes way up in the air now from the clearance from Lisandro Martinez. Then Bruno Fernandes has missed his clearance. Uche couldn't find the pass. There were three options there. It just didn't run for a Palace player, and it's cleared away by Lisandro Martinez. Throw into Crystal Palace, right hand side, and Manchester United are going to try and take a bit of the pace out of the game here with a couple of changes. We're about to find out the stoppage time, and it's 4 minutes to be added at the end of this second half, Steve.
Yeah, just see the replay, and I get that why Uche's trying to slide that ball down the side and get across into a dangerous area, but he had no one in front of him.
Yeah.
Fernandez had gone to ground, wasn't going to recover. Could he have just taken that 2 or 3 yards inside and a bit closer to get the shot away? I just wonder if that was an option. Yeah, see, I mean, again, that's one of those hindsight things where I'm sat here and the pass was a good attempt, but he didn't make it, so now we just wonder if he could have, like we're in the latter stages, added on time. You've got a great opportunity from the edge of the box and you elect to side pass it and it's intercepted.
Facing number 16 Ahmad and 19 Brian Mbeumo.
Ahmad and Mbeumo are coming off. Dorgu and Mainu are coming on. And Mbeumo has taken an age to wander over to the touchline. That would be at least a minute of the 4. Lerma's actually had to sit down ahead of this throw-in. It's taken so long.
4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes.
So maybe the 4 should start now, Steve. That's basically the first minute gone, isn't it? Here's Lerma with the long throw. The Colombian sends it into the box. Richards gets the flick on. It's going to drop for Devaney here. And Ketia and Devaney got in each other's way there, really, with the shot. And it's cleared away by United. Out it comes to Munoz. Deliberately plays it up the right to Lacroix. He tried to keep it in, but it's gone out into touch for a throw-in.
Yeah, frustration all round, isn't there? Frustration on the pitch, frustration in the stands, and the biggest frustration inside the technical area. Glasner is a very unhappy bunny.
They're taking their time here. Dallo told by Casemiro, just take your time getting the ball, don't hurry anything. Dorgu sends the throw in up the touchline. Munoz is there, then looked like a handball from Casemiro. It's not been given by the officials. Gay lofting a ball forward, Uche competing for it with Casemiro. It's run out for a throw in off a Man United player. Munoz beckons Lerma over for the long throw. The two Colombians plotting a late equaliser here, perhaps for the Eagles. Lerma goes short with the throw-in to Munoz. Munoz now sending in a cross. It's a little too deep behind the players who are running in there. Then Dorgu's fouled as he tries to break up field. And Lerma's booked. I just don't know why Lerma's done that, really, because even if he allows them to get away, he's wasted a minute here.
He has, but I think the mistake comes from the cross from Munoz. You've got to clear the first man. The actual short throw was on. They'd set up for the long throw into the box, but Man United had nobody out on Munoz. The throw went to him. That first ball in has to clear the first man and give those Crystal Palace players a chance to get on the end of it. It didn't, and once it got cleared, all Lerma did there was try and win the ball back quick because of the state of the game, and just couldn't slow himself down enough, and Xerxes took the hit. Yeah, I just think that at a stage of the game where you just get the ball into the right areas and ask questions of the opposition, and Palace failed to do that.
Here we go then. Virtually the last chance saloon now as Henderson waves his team forward and launches it as far as he can. Casemiro watches it all the way and heads it clear up to the halfway line. Richards, the USA international, on the ball, floating a ball across the field, headed up in the air. Lerma nods it down to Hughes. Will Hughes on the turn, plays it back to Lacroix. Richards, they've still got everyone forward here, Palace. When are they going to take the chance with a ball into the box? Devaney now Left-footed clipped cross. Mainu heads it away. Richards trying to win it as it drops. Mount couldn't get to it either. And Lacroix can bring it forward. Gives it to Lerma. Now Hughes. It's opening up for Hughes. Is he caught there by Casemiro just outside the box? Free kick to Palace just outside the D. This will be 19 yards out.
Yeah,
just to the right of the D.
And we're either going to have, I mean, this will be the last action of the game, and it's an out-and-out free kick. He's dragged him back by the arm. Excellent technique from Hughes to take control on the left foot and drive forward. Casemiro thinking this is danger, pulls him back and would rather have a wall in the way of the shot than just Hughes getting in position to take the shot.
Devaney looks like he fancies it, Steve.
Yeah, he looks really confident actually. And yeah, we've got the player laying down behind the wall. If anything, it's just a fraction too close to go up and over. What's that, 26? It's 21 yards, 3 outside the 18-yard box.
I'm thinking he just hits it at Nketiah, who's just get him to duck.
I think that's why they're putting that three-man wall in place. It's to blind the goalkeeper's vision on the ball. But
just blast it.
10 yards right of centre, 21 yards out.
This is it. The game rests on this moment really now. Devaney with the free kick for Palace, hit into the wall, it's deflected out towards the touchline. The referee glances at his watch, and that is that. Manchester United win away after all the criticism from Monday night, the home defeat against Everton. They found their way out of a deep hole here. Palace dominated that first half, should have been more than 1-0 up, well more. But just the penalty to Mateta to show for their efforts in that first half. And Manchester United hitting back with 2 goals in the second half from Xerxes and Mount. 2 goals that Palace will feel they could have dealt with. Oliver Glasner will be incredibly frustrated, comes over for a long chat with Casemiro, who's got the ball in his grasp. Manchester United take 3 points and move above Crystal Palace in the Premier League table, and Crystal Palace's long home unbeaten record in the Premier League is over. It ends at 12 matches. Manchester United the first team to win here in the Premier League since Everton, apart from the home side Crystal Palace. The United fans celebrating. The final word from Steve Brown before we hand over to our next commentary of the afternoon. Steve, your thoughts on what you've watched here with Crystal Palace this afternoon?
Yeah, they'll just absolutely be kicking themselves, the home side. You know, we're looking at an away side that's only gained 7 points from their previous 33 away from home, and they were absolutely up against it at half-time. Palace were the dominant side, should have been further than that 1-0 scoreline ahead. But I am surprised at how much it dropped away in the second 45 in terms of how they approached. They couldn't get tight, the fitness levels dropped, and you have to have a degree of sympathy that must be a hangover from Thursday night. It has to be. I can't give it any other explanation. They work their system better. They have better players playing in that system than Man United do, and by and large they are a better team at this moment in time than Manchester United are, and I think the statistic proves that. But that second half was really poor. The manner of the goals was poor, the fitness levels dipped, the tempo of their defending dipped, and once Man United got in front, I actually couldn't see a way of Palace getting back into it, which is extraordinary given the first 45 minutes. Yeah, so really unfortunate. I'm going to give them Thursday as the reason, because it was only the second half that got impacted. But maybe I'm doing Man United a disservice. They've managed to find a way to come back from 1-0 down, which is not easy to do in the Premier League, and find 3 points and get the 2 goals. That means they've got that really important victory that pushes them a little bit higher up the league. That they've still got enormous amounts of work to do as a football club. They know that, but this is a big win for them.
Yeah, disappointment for Crystal Palace. You can see that etched on the faces of the Crystal Palace players as they make their way off the field. Oliver Glasner applauds the home fans, but shows his frustration. Let's look ahead to the games coming up then now. Before we cross to London Stadium, let's preview the 4:30 kick-off in the Premier League. Eagerly awaited meeting at the top of the table between Chelsea and Arsenal.
Good afternoon, Andy. Yes, it's Chelsea versus Arsenal here, coming to you from Stamford Bridge, where, of course, Enzo Maresca's side will be hoping for the kind of statement victory that might lead to people taking them a little bit more seriously as far as the title race goes. As for Arsenal, they're looking to extend their lead at the top of the table and complete what would be an unbelievable week, having already dispatched of their London rivals Tottenham and, of course, Bayern Munich in midweek. It's been a good week as well for the Blues. They put in a resounding performance and a brilliant victory it was really against Barcelona here, but can they stop Mikel Arteta's Gunners, who are unbeaten in their last 6 visits here?
Oh wow, that's a great record. Harry Symeou will be keeping an eye on that one, with Cole Palmer potentially back for Chelsea and Esteval in amazing form for Arsenal, in remarkable form themselves. That should be a great one to come this afternoon at 4:30. But as we leave you here at Selhurst Park, big thanks to Steve Brown.
Pleasure, Andy.
Coming up, we have live commentary of West Ham against Liverpool. West Ham looking for a 3rd home win in a row against under fire Liverpool, and an emotional day in store there for our commentary team. Martin Allen, the former West Ham midfielder, is alongside Sohail Sahi.
Thank you very much indeed, Andy. So welcome to the London Stadium then, and part 2 of Total Sport on BBC London DAB and the BBC Sport website. It's West Ham taking on a beleaguered and bruised Liverpool team. Both sets of players have emerged out of the tunnel. They're just doing their handshakes either side of the halfway line. And before we talk about the football, really sad news, as we know, broke this morning, announcing the passing of Billy Bonds, aged 79, former player and manager of West Ham United Football Club. And Martin Allen, who's alongside me for this match this afternoon. A sad day, Martin, for everyone connected to this football club.
Yeah, very much so. I heard the news just a couple of hours ago, and the atmosphere inside the stadium and the feelings of the iconic legend, and such a nice man. It has been quite upsetting, and a few tears, I must admit. It's sad. It's very, very sad. But I think Billy would like us now to try and get behind the team and support the team in true Billy Bonds style of his passion for the team, for the club, and try and generate a good atmosphere.
He both played and captained West Ham United, and most famously, Martin, captained them to 2 FA Cup winning titles in 1975 and 1980.
Yeah, very much so, but he also managed West Ham United when I was there, and I played against him, played with him in training, and was managed by him, and it's such an iconic leader and decent man, honest. Even if you had bad news for you, he'd call you in the office and tell you face to face and give you an explanation. But as you rightly say, for all the majority of West Ham United fans, captaining West Ham in 2 cup finals to victories would be it's the pinnacle, really.
When you came up to the commentary position, the first thing you said to me about Billy was that he was an iconic leader and a legend.
Yeah, very much. That word is used quite often for former players, ex-players. But he is like Mr. West Ham. He typifies exactly what the people of East London, Essex, he just loved the club. He loved West Ham United. He absolutely adored it. And we've got a minute's silence here, so I hope you don't mind, but I am going to be standing and going quiet for this one.
The stadium announcer is just announcing that we are going to have a period of applause to remember Billy Bonds, aged 79, who passed away this morning. Jared Bowen runs over to the far side and lifts up a claret and blue jersey with Bonds written on the back of it and number 4, and places it on the sign that says West Ham United. Nice touch from today's captain Jared Bowen and the club captain Martin Allen.
Yeah, very much. It's a lovely touch. After the minute silence around the centre circle, he's jogged across with the shirt with the name Bonds, number 4, placed it in front of the Billy Bonds stand, right on West Ham United. It was a fantastic touch. But now, of course, the anticipation, and I think everybody's ready for this this Sunday lunch of football.
That's the familiar voice of Martin Allen. Played for West Ham United over 6 seasons. And he's alongside me in the commentary box for Total Sport on BBC London, DAB, and across the BBC Sport website this afternoon for part 2. Midday kickoff saw Crystal Palace lose at home to Manchester United by 2-1. They took the lead in the first half through a Mateta penalty, but 2 goals in the second half from Manchester United claimed all 3 points. We're off and underway, and West Ham United, if you know the London Stadium, will be attacking from left to right in this first half. Very, very early stages, just played 30 seconds. There's a free kick for Liverpool inside the centre circle. Gravenberch actually stamped on his left foot by Callum Wilson. We've got the yellow ball, of course, the winter ball. We're heading into December tomorrow, and it's West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. West Ham unbeaten in their last 3, 1-2 and drawn 1. Liverpool have lost 6 of their last 7 in their Premier League and 9 of their last 12 in all competitions. But here come West Ham in claret and blue, attacking from left to right with Bowen the captain. Comes in field on his left foot, plays it to Wilson. This is a half a chance. Wilson needs to get his shot off, but a cross comes in from Diouf and the ball runs out of play, and it's a goal kick to Liverpool. Callum Wilson maybe should have took his shot first time there, Martin Allen.
Yeah, he may have done, but I think he was going away from goal. What I would say, it was a pacey counter-attack. The manager made a very brave decision to put Mavropanos in at centre-back and drop Kilman today for the first time. And Mavropanos broke up the Liverpool attack, counter-attacked, and we looked very, very dangerous coming down the right there with Bowen. But as you rightly say, that final pass didn't quite make it, and an overhit cross from, what's that left-back called over there? From Diouf.
3 changes, as Martin just alluded to there. Nuno Espirito Santo was made to his 11, the side that drew with Bournemouth 2-2. Mavropanos, Magassa and Paquetá come in. Julio, Kilman, who was never present in the Premier League before today, and Guilherme there on the bench. So Areola is in goals. Be a 3-4-2-1 that Nuno likes. Just break away for a moment as Liverpool come over the halfway line in their away strip of cream shirts, black shorts and socks. This is Gakpo heading towards the dead ball line, but he overruns it, so it's a goal kick which Areola will take. The back 3, Mavropanos, Todibo and Magassa, the 2 wing backs. Wan-Bissaka down the right hand side, Diouf down the left hand side. In midfield it's Potts and Fernandes, with Bowen and Paquetá playing behind Callum Wilson. The headline team news for Liverpool, and Arne Slot, he's made 4 changes to his 11 who lost to PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League. Mohamed Salah is on the bench, so Alisson, Gomez, Wirtz and Isak come into the side. Mames, Vesvili, Jones, Ekitike and Salah miss out, so Alisson's in goals. Their back 4 is Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk their captain, and Kirkes. In midfield, Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai, with Wirtz and Gakpo either side of Alexander Isak. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. We've played just over 3.5 minutes. Todibo with a downward header to Wan-Bissaka in front of Arne Slot, just on the halfway line, down this near side which is West Ham's right. Wan-Bissaka with his gloves on heads it forward, and it's clipped forward by Magassa, but it falls to Wirtz. Socks roll down to his ankles. He comes in field just outside the penalty. It's well left. Isak with a right-footed shot, yet to score for Liverpool in the Premier League. Wasn't going to trouble Areola with that effort, Martin. 0-0 goal kick to the Hammers.
Yeah, particularly disappointing, poor finish. Right-footed, side foot, edge of the 18-yard box with the whole goal open for him to beat Areola. and he's kicked it over rugby style. It was that high. He should have put that in the bottom corner and finished it. But as we're in the 4th minute, I'm terribly sorry, but I'm standing up and I'm clapping Billy Bonds. I'm passing over to you.
You do that, Martin. In the 4th minute, Billy Bonds used to wear the number 4 jersey. There's a round of applause for the whole minute around the ground, and Martin Allen is joining in, and rightly so. Billy Bonds, a real legend of this football club, both played and managed West Ham United. Their record appearance maker, 799 times he played for the Hammers and led them to the FA Cup titles in 1975 and 1980. There'll be a full tribute the club have announced, remembering Billy in the next home Premier League game, which is Sunday the 14th of December, and it's a 2 o'clock kickoff against Aston Villa. I'm sure, Martin, you'll be here that day too.
Yeah, well, I'm very lucky that I'm an ambassador for West Ham United Football Club, so I come here to all the games and get to meet lots of nice supporters and passionate people about their football club. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky and honoured to have that role, and yeah, I definitely will be. I'm not missing that game.
And Billy Bonds will be remembered forever and a day, and rightly so.
I don't think you can hear the supporters now are singing an iconic song to the legend. Oh, Billy, 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 Billy Bonds. And that used to go on and on and on all round Upton Park. God bless, it was amazing when it used to bounce around from all different areas in Upton Park. So to hear it here today is for me tears in my eyes moment once again.
That's the voice of Martin Allen in the commentary box this afternoon for Total Sport on BBC London DAB and across the BBC Sport website as well. We're the home of London football. We've already brought you Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 2. We'll keep you up to date with Chelsea and Arsenal from 4:30. Harry Symeou is there at Stamford Bridge. It's a huge clash in the Premier League as West Ham have won their first corner of the afternoon over on that far side, which is the left hand side, and it will be swung in right footed. Freddie Potts takes his time, places the ball ever so carefully in the quadrant. Magassa and Wilson inside the 6-yard box. Paquetá lurking around the edge of it, so is Bowen. Bowen makes a dart to the near post. Here it comes swinging into the far post. Todibo was there, it's headed away. Fernandes gets there first. Wan-Bissaka just lifts it right footed, loops it to the far side, but it goes out of play, and it's a throw into the visitors Liverpool, Martin.
Yeah, it's a very bright start, full of energy from both teams. Liverpool, of course, at the moment on a tricky, disappointing run after winning the Premier League. So it's here on this Sunday lunchtime. It's like, come on then, you're coming down for a Sunday roasted here. And I think everybody sort of feels the same, supporting West Ham. And for Liverpool fans, they're just going to be hoping that their team can regain some form. And the players like Isak, who've been sold for record amounts of money, signed for record amounts, show up and start delivering.
Yeah, British record transfer, £125 million from Newcastle. Liverpool signed the Swedish international, yet to score in the Premier League for the Merseysiders, but they're coming forward over the halfway line. It's Kirkes, plays it short and square to his left. Gakpo comes infield. Now it's McAllister, the Argentinian, onto Gravenberch, central area of the pitch, plays it to his left. Yellow ball shimmering under the sunshine. It's a bright, rather cold afternoon here in the capital, in East London. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. We've played over 8 minutes of this Premier League game between West Ham and Liverpool.
That Liverpool manager down there in the technical area, he's suited and booted. He looks an absolute $1 million. He looks like he's got a brand new pair of shoes on. Don't they? Look how white those white bits at the bottom are.
They're very well looked after. Nuno to his right in his usual kind of tracksuit jacket and tracksuit pants as well.
And his trainers look like they're from Primark.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Go across the sloth guy.
They don't look white at all, aren't they? Slots look really white, don't they?
He's got them from Harrods.
Got a long dashing navy overcoat as well. Opened up. It is chilly, but it's also quite nice as well. Quite fresh as Alisson just rolls the ball forward. He's in goals today, replacing Mamardashvili, who's in between the sticks in the Champions League game against PSV Eindhoven. Not much happening in front of us on the pitch though, Martin, at the moment. Both sides just sitting deep at the moment and allowing each other to have possession. Not real pressing. No press from Liverpool at the moment, as Potts plays it out to the left hand side, just on the edge of the penalty area. West Ham with possession. This is Diouf, the Senegalese, kind of roared towards the halfway line, then stopped and played it back. And now Todibo keeps his position in the back three. Both Kilman and Julio have been dropped to the bench, and Fernandes switches the play to Wan-Bissaka. The home support appreciated that. Wan-Bissaka now heads towards the dead ball line, cross into the near post, punched away one-handed by Alisson. Comes out to Magassa, now to Diouf, just outside the penalty area, to Fernandes, is encouraged to shoot. It was blocked by Konate, and Todibo recycles the possession, and Diouf gets it again. Alisson goes down, play's been stopped, and I think it's when he punched the ball out, might have had a collision, maybe with one of his own players in the chest. We've got a replay in front of us here, Martin. Cross coming in, he collided with his own player there, Joe Gomez.
Yeah, I can see why he's gone down. He's been very, very brave to come out. He punched it one-handed up above his shoulder, and he's got contact, but then Gomez come in hip height and smashed him in the ribs, and then he's gone down injured. So no, I don't think he's feigning it. He's not doing a Man City move. He's actually
kept up to date with everything. That was only yesterday, you know, Martin.
I know.
It's amazing. And you've been a busy chap this morning. Tell our listeners what you've been up to.
Oh yes, I've had something.
My spies told me you were out and about.
Yeah, Alexander Divine Children's Hospice, not too far from where I lived. I did a 5k sponsored Santa's Dash, they call it. I dressed up as Santa Claus around the back of Windsor Castle. Completed my miles, raised over £6,000, and if anyone wants to donate, they can, of course, to my Just Giving page. And yeah, fantastic. We're just coming out for the drop ball. It should be West Ham's possession. It's a little bit further out up the field. I'm not sure why Darren England has. Yes, it's West Ham's possession, and the game's going on. Yeah,
Darren England, the referee, just dropped the ball. West Ham had possession again. Just reiterating that point that Martin just said. If you want to contribute, get to Martin Allen's Just Giving page. Is it your only Santa Dash of this festive season, or you'll be out there again?
No, well, I only had a knee replacement 6 months ago, so I think one dash is going to be plenty enough. It was really enjoyable, but got very, very well looked after. And as I say, supporters from all clubs all over the country, and people from all around the globe, to be honest with you, have chipped in. And like I say, if anybody wants to add a little bit in, it's a fantastic cause, it's a fantastic hospice, and I'm really, really lucky to have been invited to do it.
So goalless at the London Stadium between West Ham and Liverpool. It's goalless as well between Aston Villa and Wolves, and Nottingham Forest and Brighton. Those other two games kicked off at 2:05 as well. But West Ham come forward with Potts on the right hand side, sweeps across in low to the penalty spot, but cleared away by a back-pedalling Konate. Over the halfway line it goes. West Ham regain possession. Wan-Bissaka just shy of the halfway line now to Paquetá. He's back in the team after his 5 yellow card suspension last weekend against Bournemouth, and he won a free kick which was taken by Magassa. Now to Todibo, and Todibo out to Diouf, back to Todibo, and Magassa plays the ball through the centre circle onto Paquetá, runs forward 5 yards and plays it onto Wan-Bissaka. Wants to take on Gakpo on the outside. They're both tussling for the ball just in front of the assistant referee down this near side, and it's a throw-in to Liverpool, and this first KG 14 minutes continues and it's goalless between West Ham and Liverpool. Martin.
I've liked West Ham's start. I like the team that he's picked with two midfield players in Potts and Magassa, who are both young, both mobile, both athletic and can get around the pitch. I'm interested to see the fact that he's changed the centre-back partnership after last week's second 45 minutes when it was pretty poor, and everybody's blamed the manager for not playing Callum Wilson. I think they should have taken another look at how poor the centre-backs were before making their big statements. But this is an athletic, mobile team, and on the counter-attack already we've seen a couple of good examples about the pace to get at Liverpool and not just pop it around the halfway line, which bored us all stupid. So no, it's all good, it's all to play for, and at the moment I would imagine that Nuno would probably be happier than the Liverpool manager with his new shoes on.
Yeah, Arne Slot as McAllister just edges over the halfway line. West Ham defending the goal to our left, so they're attacking from left to right. If you know the London Stadium, Wirtz rolls the ball into the far post. Nice tidy clearance from Juff, who was hanging around the 6-yard box and got there before Isak could pounce, and it's a corner to Liverpool. Well defended by West Ham, 0-0.
Very well defended by West Ham. Brilliant bit of skill from Wirtz on the left side of the West Ham 18-yard box. A great ball right along the 6-yard box. And I think the manager would be disappointed how he didn't cut across and get across to the near post for a side foot. He was behind the defender, and as we all know, that's no good.
So corner for Liverpool, their second of the afternoon from that far side. Szoboszlai takes its curling outward, and it was a header which came back in from Van Dijk, but always looping well over the top of the crossbar. Goal kick.
It was a poor header. He had a free header there. I'm sure the manager's going to be shouting out, or the set play coach is going to be shouting out, come on, you can't let him have a free run. You've got to get a block on him and stop that momentum. And Van Dijk, he's headed it over again at that rugby goal, 6 foot over the crossbar. He'll be disappointed at that. That was a good chance, by the way, for Liverpool. Yeah,
for their captain Virgil van Dijk, who's got 2 goals this season, but in the Champions League. It's been talking a lot about Liverpool's poor recent run of performances. I think he stopped against PSV Eindhoven. Gravenberch came out, Curtis Jones came out. I think he just wants to let his football do the talking now. If not won on the road in the Premier League since the 14th of September when they beat Burnley by 1-0, but they're coming forward. It was with Gakpo, but it was taken away from him by a combination of Mavropanos and Wan-Bissaka. Now West Ham on the halfway line, good ball forward by Fernandes to Wilson. Wilson's onside, left side of the penalty area, only Konate to beat. He did attempt to cross it, either shoot, but it deflected off Konate, spinned out for a corner to West Ham.
What a pass from Fernandes on the halfway line. He changed play with a forward pass behind the opposite centre-back on the opposite side of the pitch. What a brilliant pass. And as you would expect from Wilson, he doesn't get into those areas and pass it. He went 1v1, very positive to try and attack and score. And West Ham United right now have got a penalty, great joke, Mark, got a corner kick over the far side.
Difficult to see who'll take it. It looks like it's Potts on that far side. Here it comes in towards the near post. It zipped across the edge of the 6-yard box. Mavropanos got his hands in the air, just pushed his hands through his hair. I think he was disappointed he didn't get a touch to that, but slightly nudged. Good defending from Gomez, who looked to be tracking the Greek, Mavropanos.
Yeah, and I've got to mention, it was a brilliant Beckham-like delivery, in-swinger, right-footed, with topspin. And as you say, Mavropanos will be disappointed that he didn't get free from Gomez to get the free header to put West Ham 1-0 up.
Yeah, one of the 3 changes Nuno's made to his 11, Mavropanos, Magassa and Paquetá in. Julio, Kilman and Guilherme all on the bench. Kilman was ever present before today in the Premier League. Finds himself amongst the substitutes. If you're just tuning in to BBC London DAB and via the BBC Sport website on this Sunday afternoon, It's a bright but chilly final Sunday of November. So we're heading into the Christmas period from tomorrow. It's goalless here between West Ham United and Liverpool, and also goalless at Villa Park between Aston Villa and Wolves, and at the City Ground as well. Nottingham Forest 0, Brighton 0. The early kick-off, if you missed it, ended Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 2. Liverpool yet to win in the capital this season. They've been here 3 times. They've lost on all 3 occasions to Crystal Palace, Chelsea and Brentford. And so far it's goalless here, and they have a free kick right on the edge of their own penalty area. Konate takes it to Gravenberch. He runs away from his own penalty area, short and square to his right to Gomez on the halfway line. Liverpool still inside their own half. Every single West Ham player behind the ball. Paquetá comes to close down Konate, just plays it to his left to Van Dijk. Gakpo comes short, turns, and now finds Kirkes to his left. Wirtz is in front of him. Wan-Bissaka closes down that corridor, and good tackle by Wan-Bissaka stops the momentum of attack. Gives the throw into Liverpool, which is taken. Gakpo now, left of centre. McAllister first time to Kirkes. West Ham in their shape, they're being patient. Van Dijk tries to slice it through the West Ham midfield. Isak out to Gomez. Gomez with a heavy first touch, but gets across it deep to the far post. Gakpo, this is a chance for Isak. Fantastic one-handed save from Areola. Huge moment for the West Ham goalkeeper, 0-0.
What a save from 6 yards, a volley from 6 yards, going straight in the top, right underneath the crossbar, and how he's managed to get up there and block that and stop that going in. That was a brilliant save.
It was Gomez who lifted the ball to the far post. It's headed back by Gakpo, and Isak, his ball was just behind him. He did well to connect, but a superb one-handed stop by Areola.
If they'd paid 120 million for me, I'd have scored that. Blimey. He's hit it straight at the goalie. He's got to bury that properly. That's got to be a goal.
Gomez with the cross from the right hand side. You missed the 5 million, Martin. It was 125.
Was it?
Yeah.
God, imagine what I'd be worth nowadays.
I know. Imagine what you'd be worth. Imagine what Clive would be worth. Imagine what Paul would be worth. Clive would be worth a bomb. Clive would be worth double what Isak's worth, Martin, in my opinion.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, Clive was a proper goal scorer. And we just had a West Ham player kicked and pushed off the pitch in front of...
it's our favourite, Diouf. He's down at the moment.
Diouf has taken a dig right in front of the assistant referee, but he's up, thankfully.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he actually touched him, did he?
No. Maybe it's just a slight clip. We've just seen a replay of the save that Areola made, Martin.
Do you know what? I'm not sure if the viewers or listeners get this, but where we're sitting, they've actually got TV screens so we can see what's going on. You can't believe it. It's fantastic, isn't it? Got a TV screen right in front of me.
Because the commentary position here is you are far away from the football pitch, aren't you? Especially, I'm being nice there, aren't I? Especially the far side. But if the action stays on this near side, it's not too bad. But the far side, yeah. But we've got some nice televisions to help us out.
When you said that, it reminded me of a programme when I was growing up, the new thing that came out called the $6 Million Man.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
And he could hear everything from a long way away. And then he could see things from a long way. And just as we're speaking, Diouf has made a brilliant interception and done absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Konate. The West Ham supporters don't like that. Konate used probably his muscle just to ease Diouf off the ball and take it away from him. Plays it out to continue. Darren England didn't agree with the majority inside the London Stadium. Still goalless between West Ham and Liverpool. But it's even so far. So the best moment has fallen to the visitors, and that was Isak, and also the Van Dijk header from the corner. 1-2 between two Liverpool players, and it's Gravenberch, and that was a well-timed challenge, was it? On the edge of the penalty area, yes it was.
Good decision by the referee.
That was Magassa who won it, and West Ham now have won a free kick midway inside their own half over on that far left-hand side, and ironic applause from the home support. What about that challenge there? Magassa on Gravenberch.
On the edge of the box. That was a mistake by the referee. It should have been a free kick to Liverpool right on the 18-yard box. It wasn't a penalty, but the referee for me missed it. Magassa did not get the ball. It was a slide tackle, a lunge, and it should have been a free kick to Liverpool, which of course would be dangerous. And what we're now seeing is the free kick. Instead of the goalkeeper or our left back, West Ham's left back, getting it down and passing it, everyone's gone up to the halfway line. One of the centre backs has gone up into the centre forward position, and Areola, the West Ham goalkeeper, is going to boot this as far as he can right up the pitch like the old days.
And here it comes, right-footed in the direction of the Liverpool penalty area. Konate and Gomez deal with it. And Szoboszlai, I was about to say he's going to lose out to Fernandes, but did well at the second attempt. Ball's just pinging about on the edge of Liverpool's penalty area, picked up by Bowie, left side of the area, tries to pick out Wilson, poked away by Kirkes. Good defending by the Hungarian. He's been in for a lot of stick as a Liverpool left full back, but he defended that really well, Martin.
Yes, he did. It's up to Callum Wilson to get in front of him though, get across the front of him when that cross was coming. But good play from Bowen, real captain's type pass in that final third.
Wan-Bissaka sliding clear us inside his penalty area. Bright sunshine around tier 2 of the London Stadium. Areola defending the goal to our left. If you're just joining us across the BBC London DAB network and the BBC Sport website, goalless here at the London Stadium between West Ham and Liverpool. We kicked off at 2:05. Szoboszlai into Gomez. Gomez dangerous part of the penalty area, pulls the ball back. No Liverpool player there. It's cleared away by Mavropanos, and Konate gives it away to the gloved Paquetá. He just ambers as he does in his trademark style and just poked it back to Juff, who clips it from left to right to Mavropanos, and now he runs away from his penalty area, approaching the halfway line in front of his manager Nuno. Gives it away. That was sloppy from the Greek. Try to win it back, and now it's Isak hurtling forward inside the penalty on the left hand side, wants to get on his right foot, tries to find Gakpo. Magassa gets there as well. That was untidy from Liverpool. Free kick to West Ham, goalless here.
Yeah, what I liked, Liverpool attacking down the left hand side, get up to the left hand side by the edge of the 18-yard box, out by the touchline, and the amount of West Ham United players that are back defending what we would call recovery runs. The pace, the speed, mobility of the team today compared to what it was a few months ago, to get all those players back there defending like that, that is how you defend at the top level.
That's the voice of Martin Allen in the commentary box this afternoon for BBC London Sport, the home of London football. Total Sport on your dial. Don't forget, Monday to Thursday, the big man's back, Aaron Paul in the breakfast chair, 6 till 10, with his favourite bird every Monday to Thursday.
His favourite what?
His favourite bird. You've got to tune in, Martin. You'd enjoy it.
He's a top man.
He sends his love, by the way.
Does he?
Yeah, I was talking to him last night. I was travelling back from Norwich. He was travelling back from Middlesbrough. I'll tell you in a moment. Gakpo onto Kirkes. Kirkes and Juff with the clearance out to the penalty area. It's a throw-in. He was coming back from Middlesbrough. I was coming back from Norwich. He's at Aston Villa today. And I told him I'm commentating with the legend Martin Allen. And you know what he said to me?
What?
Send him my love. Send him my love. And I said I will.
He's really good, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I enjoy listening to him.
He's on the...
He's sharp, isn't he?
Yeah, he is very much so. Very much so. But Monday to Thursday, 6 till 10, Aaron Paul and his favourite bird. Don't miss out. Tune in. But it's a free kick here. Back to the football for Liverpool.
Back off the football. Are you allowed to say your favourite bird on the radio?
Yeah, you will understand it. If you tune in and listen to the chap who does the sport,
yeah,
you'll get it.
Okay.
You'll get it. Trust me. Yeah.
Shall I tell you my favourite bird?
Yeah, I think I know.
No. No, I better not tell you.
Szoboszlai.
No, not him.
No. Szoboszlai with this free kick then, midway inside West Ham's half. I say 15 yards in from this near touchline. West Ham defending the goal to a left, and the West Ham supporters who you can hear Liverpool supporters to our right pretty quiet at the moment. Szoboszlai clips it in, it's curling, it's looping towards that 6-yard box. It's headed away twice by the West Ham defence. Out of the penalty area it comes. Fernandes tries to find Bowen. McAllister pinches it away, steps in south, shoots it, takes a deflection, but Areola was always behind that. He could see that coming, Martin.
Yeah, I would say over the last few minutes it's just probably started to swing the momentum towards the Liverpool team. Much more of the game has been played in the West Ham half, and we haven't managed to retain possession or get into entries into the final third of the Liverpool team. They seem to have settled just a little bit, and hopefully we can bounce back from this and get a grip. Like I think it's been 50-50 up to now, but I just sense there's a little bit more power going towards them.
Yeah, we seem to be Martin and I just seem to be fixing our eyes to the left of where we're watching this game, which means West Ham's penalty area, and that's the way Liverpool at the moment are attacking, and they're having the majority of the possession. Szoboszlai nearly picked out Wirtz. It was a slight nicked flick away from Diouf, and now West Ham have a little bit of reprieve with a throw-in over on that far side. So it's their left-hand side.
It can happen like this when you're defending deep and you've just got Callum Wilson up front on his own, and you've been chasing the ball, and you do get possession. It's not always easy to find that striker, and here we go on the counter-attack. Wan-Bissaka down the right, and West Ham are on the break.
Yeah, he's got some space just outside the penalty area. Loose first ball, but it comes back to him off the shins of Gakpo, and now Paquetá has it. It's back to goal. Fair challenge, the referee says, for McAllister. Heavy first touch from Wirtz. Magassa was there, but McAllister picks up the loose ball, and now it's Szoboszlai inside the centre circle, clips it to the left-hand side. Liverpool midway inside West Ham's half. Wirtz onto Gakpo. Once again, poor first touch from a Liverpool forward, and they've let West Ham off there. Is that fair comment, Martin? Heavy first touch. Should have really punished West Ham there.
Yeah, they've had a few opportunities, but they have not been ruthless. They've not had that cutting edge. Sometimes these games can be won with 2 or 3 chances, and you win 1-0 and walk away from here very, very happy with your bag loaded with 3 points in it. At the moment, they're having half chances, but they've not turned their advantages into goal scoring or into opportune moments of scoring or finishing or putting it away, which is good.
Very true. As a West Ham ambassador, I totally agree with you there. Totally. West Ham found themselves in 17th place ahead of kick-off. Only 7 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool in 13th. Their stats are astonishing when you read them out loud. Played 12, won 6, lost 6. Lost 6 of the last 7 in the top flight. 9 of the last 12 in all competitions. You have to go far back as 1953 to find a record as poor as that from Liverpool, as Bowen just flicked the ball forward in search of Fernandes, but it ran out of play. It'd be a goal kick to Alisson, the Brazilian international. He'll take his time over this. It's still goalless here, and we've played over 32 minutes. Astonishing though when you think about Liverpool and them being the champions of our country and the money they spent, Martin. The fall off is dramatic, to say the least.
Yeah, very much so, and even at the end of last season, after they'd won the championship, the last 4 games after they won the Premier League, they lost 2 of those, which is kind of unheard of. Maybe not knowing 100% sure, but it could have something to do with the fact that the manager had organised an holiday with his mates in Ibiza, and they didn't have to go training for a good few days, which I found quite astonishing, because as soon as you win that trophy, that championship, you've got to get your head down and start planning for next season. And him and his mates were in Ibiza, which I found, as I say, a bit weird.
Wirtz just outside the penalty area, sends it out to the right hand side. Gomez puts a cross in, it's headed away by Todibo. Diouf helps it on to Wilson, a little bit isolated, Callum Wilson,
yes,
at the present time. Szoboszlai and Gakpo and Gravenberch now, he gets involved, plays it short and square to the right to Gomez, just outside the penalty on the right hand side. That was a poor first ball by Gravenberch to Szoboszlai. Goal kick to West Ham, still 0-0.
Yes, and that poor pass has just given a little bit of respite to the West Ham team, who are working extremely hard to block shots, block crosses, stop people getting in and finding a pathway through to the West Ham goal. So just a little break now to actually recharge the batteries, take a bit of fresh air and see if they can get a grip back onto this game.
Just had a shot of the two managers on our TV screens in front of us, or our monitors. Both them have been on the edge of their technical areas. It's probably the only way to manage here at the London Stadium, because if you go back to your seats, you're so far away from the pitch. Won't be able to give anyone any kind of instructions. It's a throw-in for Liverpool in their away strip of cream jerseys, black shorts and socks. Kirkes with the throw.
Looked like a foul for
yeah,
to me.
It did, very much so. But it's plays continue to the advantage of West Ham. It's Bowen over the halfway line. Van Dijk's there in front of him, but Bowen won't be cowed by that. He's inside the penalty area. Wants to get on his left foot. Tried a curling effort, blocked by McAllister. Out to Fernandes. Fernandes shimmies to go left of Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai doesn't allow him to do so. And now it goes out to the far touchline. Juff swings in across low to that near post. Konate deals with it. It's a throw-in to West Ham. Still West Ham 0, Liverpool 0.
Yeah, good little phase of play there from West Ham. Incisive, quick passing. Switched the play over to Juff on the other side of the pitch. He whipped his crossing, but nobody was at the near post to get a finish. But a little pick up in performance, which is a good sign, obviously.
Potts clips it in the direction of Bowen, just slightly overran. Good imagination from the young man, Freddie Potts.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that the manager has put a few players into the team. He's put a few players onto the bench, in each game. So he's starting to bring these lads through, which I think a lot of West Ham supporters have been crying out for. And Potts, after his good season he had at Portsmouth last year in the Championship, has made this step up into the Premier League, and he has been consistently good.
Yeah, looks comfortable now in midfield. Andy Irvine is the other young chap on the bench Martin is alluding to.
And Guilherme
as well, yeah. Young Brazilian.
We haven't seen a great deal of him, but I think he played him last week.
He did.
So they're getting their chances, which, as I said a minute ago, I think all West Ham supporters wanted to see.
As Liverpool inch forward, just outside West Ham's penalty area, it's dealt with by Todibo, and Bowen was sandwiched between Kirkes and McAllister. As we go into the final 8 minutes of the first half, West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. West Ham 2-2 last time out against Bournemouth last weekend, and that was after the restart of the international break. But before then, back-to-back home wins against Newcastle and Burnley have really set this Nuno's inspired generation forward. But Van Dijk is not quite sure what happened there, just took my eye off it.
Callum Wilson challenged him off of the long goal kick, and he's tapped him on the arm, and Van Dijk has gone down injured.
Yeah,
he's tapped him.
literally.
He tapped him. Come on, get up. There's a good boy. He's up. He's fine.
Yeah.
Not happy though.
No, he's not.
He needs to give him another one now.
Yeah.
Liven him up.
Konate.
You're allowed to say that thing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, of course you are. That's the familiar voice of Martin Allen alongside me. You can say what you like, Martin. You really can. We love having you on BBC London, the home of London football. Wan-Bissaka leaping. Wirtz is there. Is this the first goal for him in Liverpool colours? No, it's not. It's a tremendous save by Areola once again. Not sure about Wirtz's power, but Areola had to outstretch down to his left-hand side to prevent Liverpool from taking the lead. It's still West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. Martin.
How ironic, I'm taking the mickey out of Virgil van Dijk, and he's hit a 50-yard pass like a American quarterback, boomed it 50 yards over the back of Wan-Bissaka, over the back of Mavropanos. Between them, What a pass it was, great control, he set up Wirtz. Thankfully he didn't get a good shot in. And I'd also say by Areola, it was a good save, I must say. But no, I'm not going to take...
quite sure about the power from Wirtz.
It was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Another player who cost, £100 million from Bayer Leverkusen.
If he's 100 million, imagine what I was worth. I saw him play a couple of years ago, by the way, for Bayer Leverkusen here, and he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Konate just might be at this present time the jersey of Liverpool weighing heavy on his back as Bowen just runs out of playing surface, and so it's a throw in for Liverpool. Below us here on this near side, where I in particular don't really need to look at the monitor. It feels close on this near side, but thrown back by Kirkes to Wirtz, and he goes back to the centre circle where he finds Gravenberch and now Konate. Every single outfield player inside West Ham's half, both Liverpool and West Ham. Goalless with 5 minutes to play on Total Sport, BBC London DAB. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0 in this Premier League matchup. Konate just a yards away from that far touchline. He's given possession away. Well done by Freddie Potts. He used his body really well and won a free kick for West Ham as some supporters head into the gangways for an early cup of tea. Don't think they're going to miss much, are they?
Cup of tea and pie and mash.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that Nuno would be the manager that would be hoping to get his players into that dressing room rather than Sloth. What's his name?
Slot.
Yeah,
Arne Slot.
Rather than him, he would be happy for this game to continue, because I think Liverpool have just seen a few openings, and Nuno might be just sort of saying to his lads, we need to keep the ball better. We need to move the ball around the pitch. We need to make them run around the pitch, and on the counter-attack, we can win this game on the counter-attack. One good chance from Bowen, then I think we could do it. So that's what he'll be looking for.
Yeah, no goals anywhere around the Premier League from the 2:05 kick-offs. Aston Villa 0, Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest and Brighton still scoreless as it is here in East London, in the capital, between West Ham and Liverpool. It's a free kick for Liverpool taken by their captain Van Dijk. Now McAllister rolls it forward. Wirtz laid it off nicely. Szoboszlai now to Wirtz just outside the penalty area. Now to Gomez, puts a cross in. It's flat by Areola. Still not cleared. Gakpo with his back to goal finds McAllister. Szoboszlai has space. This looks dangerous for West Ham. Gomez clips in across. Areola doesn't mess about this time. Punches it away but concedes a corner for Liverpool.
He's played very, very well, Areola. That wasn't offside, so we were taking the free kick for West Ham United. He's played very well, Areola. He's been very, very positive in his body language and his demeanour, and he's made some good saves. He's cleared quite a few bits and pieces that could have been turned into Liverpool goals. He's done very, very well for this first, 43 minutes?
Yeah. 43 minutes. French international Alphonse Areola's won 5 caps for his country. He was outstanding last week against Bournemouth as West Ham earned a point down in the south coast area against Bournemouth, and come back here today, and at the moment we're still awaiting the first goal of the afternoon across Total Sport on BBC London DAB and across the BBC Sport website. West Ham do have a free kick though, just left and forward of the arc of the centre circle inside Liverpool's half. I was wondering if Areola was going to come up to take this free kick. He's decided to stay inside his own half.
As we're looking down on this, we've got the Hungarian left back, the little number 6, Kirkes. I'm not sure he's got the appetite for these high, long crosses to the far post. And right now, I'd put Mavropanos, who's out this side. If he spins round the back and goes up against the... there he is, Bowen's going round the back side there, look, see it?
Yeah, he sent it towards that area.
to put it on him as a defender. He's not very big, and I think he's definitely a weakness in the aerial challenges, which is what West Ham have clearly highlighted. They had a block and a spin runner to go round the back, but it didn't quite happen, but you could see the intent was there, and yeah, that was a good move, I think, by West Ham.
It's resulted in a throw-in for Liverpool, just 5 yards away from the corner flag down this near side, which is West Ham's right. It's the attack from left to right in these final few moments of the first period of this game. Todibo goes back to Areola. It's in all lime green. The West Ham goalkeeper kind of skews his clearance. Van Dijk was underneath it. Mavropanos sends it back to the halfway line. McAllister controls. Took a bit too much time over it. Bowen came nibbling away. Liverpool still have possession though. Gravenberch, and now Magassa does well, wins it back.
Well done,
Liverpool.
Magassa.
Yeah, did that really well. 1 minute of stoppages to play. Wan-Bissaka joins the attack, then stops and kind of was heading back to the halfway line. Now rolls it back to Magassa, a young Frenchman, 22 years of age.
Good play though, that,
yeah,
wasn't it? Very
really
powerful,
good.
very strong, and that's that mobility and athleticism you need in the middle of the pitch to be able to catch people, outrun them, outfight them, and ultimately outplay them.
Paquetá,
Diouf on the cross.
yeah, now to Diouf by the dead ball line, and won a corner for West Ham. Martin.
Come on then, it's the last minute. The fourth official has told us 1 minute, can we score? To go one up. You didn't get my joke a minute ago, did you?
No, I didn't.
The left back, the Liverpool left back, is from Hungary. I'm not sure he's got the appetite for this. I got you there, didn't I?
Yeah. Lauren, our presenter's giggling away as well, back in the studio as well. I've got her in my ears.
You get it, Laura.
Lauren, she did. Yeah, Lauren, she told
Lauren,
you,
sorry.
Yeah, she did.
Here we go, West Ham to go 1-0 up.
Yeah, we're into the last few seconds of the first half. Corner swung into the far post. Mavropanos was there all over the top as the referee blows the whistle for half-time. Martin, West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. Who's the happier of the two managers?
I think after the recent run of Liverpool, I would say that Slot is the happier of both managers. Liverpool have had a lot of good opportunities. They've got into the final third more often. They just have lacked a little bit of quality, incisive passing. And the goalkeeper, it's got to be said, Areola, has also played very, very well between the sticks for West Ham. But Nuno won't be unhappy. He won't be saying, oh, come on, this is rubbish, where you need to make 3 or 4 changes at half-time. He will be sticking, I'm sure, he'll be sticking with the same 11. He won't make changes, and he'll be saying, come on, we need to pass it a little bit better. When we do get it, we've got to keep it, and then we've got to be more incisive, because they have had some good counter-attacks.
Thank you very much indeed, Martin. So half-time here at the London Stadium. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0.
Total Sport Live. BBC Radio London.
Well, thank you very much to our commentary team over at London Stadium, Sahel Sahi and Martin Allen. We'll be back with you both shortly for the second half of West Ham v Liverpool. Well, the last Premier League match of the day today sees Arsenal travel to Chelsea for a 4:30 p.m. kickoff, and it's been a brilliant week for Arsenal. They've won the North London derby, they've beat Bayern Munich, they're the top of the Premier League table and the Champions League table, but Arteta says that the Blues will be another challenge.
Well, I think we are all there, and they are there because they fully deserve what they are, what they have done in the last few years. I think the squad that they assembled, the numbers that they have, the amount of quality, the manager and the coaching staff that they have, you know, it makes sense that what is happening there is very, very positive, and they deserve to be there.
The league leaders against the Club World Cup champions, the biggest game of the season so far?
We always have the same question, you know. I understand. For us it is because it's the next game, and we're just living the present and making the best possible preparation to try to be better than them and win the game.
Well, as for Chelsea, following a groin injury and a stub toe, Cole Palmer is ready. Is the manager looking forward to a Cole Esteval combo?
Everyone is happy, the teammates, they're happy, we are all happy, and the most important thing is that Cole is happy, because at the end, a football player, they want to, play games and make session every day. No, they can play together. They can play together. Depends, against which team, depends a little bit the game plan, but for sure they are excited. The fans, they are excited to watch both together. We also are excited, thinking that at the end we need always, balance between the two faces.
And Enzo Maresca was asked about the fact that the Blues are now being considered title chasers.
I think it's too early. In any case, if we win, if we don't win, I think it's too early. We are still, end of November, we have still 5-6 months to go. I think it's very important when we're going to be in February, March, where we are, and from there we decide and we see if we can achieve something important.
Well, Harry Symeou is our reporter at that game this evening. Harry, good afternoon to you. Could you preview this one for us?
Afternoon, Lauren. Yes, of course. It's the final game of the Premier League weekend. I beg your pardon. And they've left the best till last, haven't they? Two sides that will be considered by many as being in the title race. Chelsea will, of course, want to prove to everybody that they've got the mettle to go the distance. And Arsenal, of course, will be hoping to extend their lead right at the top of the pile. As you mentioned, it's been a fantastic week for Mikel Arteta's Gunners. But can they round it off in the perfect way with a victory here at Stamford Bridge? Arsenal, incidentally, are unbeaten in their last 6 visits here, although of course Chelsea will be buoyed by the fact that they swatted Barcelona aside in midweek as if they were a championship team. With all due respect, they didn't look like Barcelona, and that was credit to Chelsea because of the way they pulled them apart and they really kind of exploited their weaknesses. But only 43.5% of Chelsea's Premier League points have come in home games this season, which I think is interesting. At times, they have struggled at Stamford Bridge, but I suppose after the midweek result, with everybody buzzing and everybody going to be bang up for it, they'll be delighted that they've got Arsenal here in front of their people. And kick-off, of course, is coming up at 4:30.
Thank you, Harry. And Harry, this is a huge chance for Arsenal today to really extend their lead at the top of that table now, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like it's not just about the points today. I feel like if Arsenal could pick up all 3 and leave with another victory, it's almost a bit of a punch in the gut for everybody that's looking to close the gap on them, because make no mistake about it, Pep Guardiola and various others will be sitting at home today watching from a distance and thinking, this is one of the games that Arsenal could potentially slip up in. This is one of the games that on paper reads the most difficult. So if Arsenal were to come here and win today, not only does it extend their lead at the top of the pile, it extends their lead over Chelsea to 9 points, but it also just sends a message to everybody else, doesn't it, that they're not messing about, that they're fully focused, and then they can go through these really difficult weeks, no matter how demanding the fixtures, and take maximum points.
And there's been a lot of questions for Maresca, as you probably just heard, about Chelsea being potential title contenders this season. What have you made of Chelsea's season so far?
I think Chelsea have had a good season. You can't deny it. I think they had a great season last year under Enzo Maresca, and I think they've built on that a little bit. It's a young team. It's an enthusiastic team. It's a team that's developing and growing. It might just be one season too early, in my view, for them to be considered sort of serious title contenders. But, who am I to say that? If they can manage a victory today, then it does send a real big statement. We've been talking so much about Arsenal making a statement, Arsenal making a point, but for Chelsea, it's the same. There's an opportunity here to show everybody that even though they're young, even though they're still developing, they're good enough to mix it with the very, very best. Again, if I had to predict, if you put me on the spot, I'd say that they probably just about don't have enough to go the full distance, but they're certainly going to have a big say in where it goes, and they're certainly going to be in the mix and I think nailed on for the top 4 by the time the season comes to an end.
And one of the big topics this week on this game is the fact that Cole Palmer is returning from injury. Do you think that could make a big difference today, or I guess a big difference to the rest of Chelsea's upcoming season, having one of their biggest, if not the biggest player returning?
Yeah, you just think about the impact that he made when he came into the Chelsea side. He was a really kind of a prospect that was very much talked about during his time at Manchester City, but once he came to Chelsea, he kind of showed everybody that he was ready, and maybe didn't get the opportunities at the Etihad that he would have liked. He scores goals, he creates goals. He's just a brilliant footballer. And in terms of today, I'm not sure how fit he is exactly, whether he'll start or not, whether he'll be a part of the squad. But even just being on the bench, even just to name Cole Palmer on the bench, I think will give everybody here a huge lift. So to have him back is great for Chelsea. The question is, can he influence the game today? That's what some Chelsea fans will be hoping for, I'm sure.
Great, thank you, Harry. And Harry, I just wanted to finish with something we've been speaking about on the programme this afternoon. That is, of course, Billy Bonds, MBE, who it was announced earlier today had sadly passed away. Of course, an absolute West Ham legend, a former summariser here at BBC Radio London, and someone who will be very missed in the football world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I never had the pleasure of meeting Billy, but everybody I spoke to over the years, whenever his name come up, and it come up a lot, because as you mentioned, he's sort of legend of West Ham United. You know, you only need to go to West Ham's ground to realise in such high esteem how he's held. And you know, you talk to people that work in this industry, and everybody's only got great things to say about him. Really sad news. I remember listening to him on commentary on Capital Gold back in the day. So when I heard the news this morning, I was sad. It took me aback, and just wishing all the best to his family, friends, former colleagues at this difficult time, of course.
Thank you, Harry. Much appreciated. Well, Chelsea v Arsenal kicks off at 4:30 p.m. this afternoon in the Premier League. Harry will be our reporter for that one. Well, earlier we brought you full commentary of Crystal Palace v Manchester United. Palace scored a penalty in the first half. Jean-Philippe Mateta actually scored, then had to retake his penalty, managing to net it twice, and Palace went into half-time 1-0 up. In the second half, however, Manchester United surprised the Eagles, scoring 2 goals within 9 minutes. A goal from Joshua Zirkzee, his first league goal in 12 months, that is, and Mason Mount to give Manchester United their first away win at Palace since 2022 when that game finished. Manager Ollie Glasner says they should have done better transfer business last summer and are now being punished for that, but they were the better half in the first team, he says.
Just have to the lead, I think even higher. Second half, but when we conceded 2 set play goals, and now we conceded 3 of our last 4 goals we conceded from set plays, then it's frustrating, and that's why we lost it here.
Does fatigue from Thursday come into it at all in your mind?
It's easy to find an excuse, and I think if it happens at the end, because yes, maybe, but straight after halftime, I don't know if it's been fatigue. Yes, it's the first time many of our players are facing this rhythm, and just have to say, because this group of players, these players giving everything every single day and working so hard to be fresh. I think we missed it in the summer to back this group. We should have added 1 or 2 more players to the squad. We knew it, we were talking about it, we just didn't do it.
How frustrating is it that you couldn't? Because is it affecting some of your results, do you think?
Definitely. So we have almost no injuries, so it's Ismail Assar now, but he's just here for the next 2 more weeks, so because then he goes to AFCON also, that's what we knew, and we have no prayer with his profile, so I don't look for excuses. Again, it's my responsibility to find solutions. We will find one. It just, I think, still in good position in the league and everywhere, but I think it's just it would have made things a little bit easier.
Is January very important to you then as Crystal Palace manager? You feel you must strengthen in January?
I think it's just to correct the mistakes you made in summer.
In terms of the first half today, probably could have been 2 or 3 goals up. Was it disappointing that you weren't?
We've talked about it too often. I don't want to talk about it anymore. We also can keep the clean sheet and then we win 1-0. And again, if they score great goals, and we have to accept it. But I can't remember one big chance from open play. But every single set, but they were dangerous. So here Man United was better than we were, and that's a little bit frustrating. Yeah. So because everything else, I think we didn't give them a lot. We created enough, but at the end we lost.
Oliver Glasner there after this afternoon's loss to Manchester United. Well, let's quickly look back at last night's Premier League match 2 now, as Tottenham hosted Fulham and the visitors scored twice in just 6 minutes. Spurs managed a consolation goal in the second half, but their efforts were not enough to salvage a point, and Fulham's 2 goals gave them their first win at Spurs in 12 years. Well, Thomas Frank said these tough losses are all part of football.
When you don't get the results you want, it's always more tricky. It's definitely more fun to win and makes everything a little bit easier. But it's part of football, it's part of life that things can go against you, and there's no way out of it then other than keep going forward, keep working hard on it, keep doing everything we can to change it, which I just know we will.
Well, on the other side of things, Marco Silva praised his side for their resilience.
The key for us was to keep more the possession. The key for us was to keep some passes, to give some passes between us. We knew that if you give some passes, we are going to keep creating problems for them. We are not able to do it, and it was more difficult for a second half, but the team showed the resilience and the characters inside.
Well, not long until we head to the second half of the match between West Ham and Liverpool in the Premier League at the London Stadium. The time is 3:05.
Weekday afternoons on BBC Radio London.
It's the emotional attachments we have to things that I think is the most difficult thing.
I always think that you have to do 2 rounds of decluttering.
Shay Gurdeval. Monday to Thursday.
Teenagers, like what age range are we talking for this show?
Like teenagers. I don't think anything's for teenagers. I don't know what to do with them at all.
Jamoke Fashiola on Friday.
How did you get into poetry? I mean, what was your way in? Have you always written?
I usually say that I'm a poet because I'm a frustrated rock star.
Jamoke Fashiola. Shay Gurdeval.
The Indian comic based in Mumbai is still supporting the England football team.
Because we don't have a football team.
Weekday afternoons from 2.
BBC Radio London.
Total Sport Live.
BBC Radio London.
Welcome to Total Sport on BBC Radio London, DAB and BBC Sport. We're not long starting the second half of West Ham v Liverpool at the London Stadium. Your commentary team for that one are Martin Allen and Sahel Sahi. Sahel, how is it looking now that I see the players coming out on the screen? I know you don't have too long, but what are the teams looking like? Who's looking like they're going to come out on top?
It's pretty even at the moment, Lauren. I'd say Liverpool, as the half wore on, they started to dominate possession more, and they did have better chances through Alexander Isak and Virgil van Dijk, but West Ham very much in the game, and I think if they can hold on for the next 15-20 minutes, because I think Liverpool will come out and have a real surge, have a real go at them, but if West Ham do hold on for that first 15-20 minutes, I think Liverpool will start to be nervous, and their supporters as well. And West Ham maybe on the counter-attack can nick a goal and maybe even steal all 3 points. So I'll take over now from here, Lauren.
Thank you very much.
As the players get set for second half, I'm still waiting for the re-emergence of Martin Allen from his half-time refreshments, and as soon as he comes back, he'll join me for second half commentary on Total Sport on BBC London DAB as we're off and underway for this second 45 minutes. And West Ham, they're attacking from right to left in this second 45 minutes. Neither manager has made any changes at half time. I'll run through the lineup in a moment as Kirkes has gone down, just checking the left side of his face. It was a rather innocuous knock from Jared Bowen, and it now is a free kick for Liverpool, and Virgil van Dijk will take it short and square to his right to Konate. So Areola's in goals for West Ham. Their back four is Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Todibo and Juff. In midfield it's Potts, Fernandes and Magassa, with Bowen and Paquetá just behind Callum Wilson. As for Liverpool, Alisson is the goalkeeper. Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk and Kirkes make up the back four. In midfield it's Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai, with Wirtz and Gakpo just playing either side of Isak. So we've started the second half. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. Total Sport from BBC London on DAB and the BBC Sport website as McAllister finds Gakpo, and the lunge in and the well-timed challenge of Wan-Bissaka stops Gakpo from putting in the cross or even having an attempt on goal, and it's a free kick now for Liverpool over on that far side, which is their left hand side. Kirkes will take it very quickly, and it's McAllister, and he just pokes it out of play, so it's a throw-in for West Ham deep inside their own right full-back area as lots of people start coming back to their seats from their half-time cups of teas and their refreshments. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0, Aston Villa 0, Wolves 0, and it's half-time at the City Ground as well. They must have restarted there as well, because all of these games kicked off at the same time, 2:05, and West Ham took the lead just before half-time. So Nottingham Forest 0, Brighton 1, De Kuyper with the goal for Brighton, Aston Villa 0, Wolves 0, and West Ham 0, Liverpool 0 here at the London Stadium. Mavropanos now to Paquetá with his black gloves on, to Areola, who clears away right-footed. Van Dijk allows the ball just to glide over his left shoulder. He'll get it back from Alisson. Just walking pace. It's quiet around London Stadium. Weak, late autumnal sunshine right across Tier 2 of the London Stadium. You can see the moon above the ground. Slight clouds now appearing, but it's a bright, cold day in the capital. We're in East London. Here comes Martin. Up the stairs he comes. He'll be putting his headphones on any moment now, and he'll join me for second half commentary. I'm just
well, the reason I'm late, I am late, so I'll pay a fine if BBC Radio London want it.
No, we
but
don't.
Some of the ambassadors of West Ham have chipped into the donations to the Alexander Divine Children's Hospice, and I had to meet them to pick up some cash that I've got to pay into their bucket. So that's full apologies. I was late.
No problem, Martin. We're back. Just getting slight interference on our broadcast. Not quite sure what it is. We'll try and figure that out in a moment. But it's goalless so far. Martin's back with us.
It seems very quiet in the stadium.
Yeah, it is. It does seem quiet after the restart. Here comes Gakpo. Gakpo right-footed, over the top it goes.
Unfortunately, we seem to have lost our presenters on BBC Radio London DAB. I will let Sahel Sahi dial back in and sort his kit out along with Martin Allen. But in the meantime, we have Harry Symeou at Chelsea, Arsenal. Harry, if I could ask you a couple of questions before your game begins. I have heard that Victor Gyökeres has been pictured at Stamford Bridge this afternoon. Have you spotted him, and how much of a boost will that give?
Yes, Victor Gyökeres is with the squad, as is Gabriel Jesus, which is big news. We don't know if both of them will be named on the substitutes bench. We're not entirely sure what the team looks like. In fact, we're probably going to have that news within the next sort of 5 minutes or so we won't have to wait too long to be put out of our misery. But it looks like those two are with the group, which is a massive boost. I mean, Mikel Merino's done an unbelievable job leading the line for Arsenal. He brings so much to the team and intelligence. He's a brilliant one-touch finisher, but he's not a natural striker. And for most of the season, Arsenal were heavily reliant on Victor Gyökeres. When he went down, you wondered how they were going to cope. Merino stepped in and done brilliantly, but to have both Gyökeres and Jesus back in contention and back in the mix is a massive boost. And we've been talking, haven't we, so much, Lauren, over the course of the season about Arsenal's strength in depth. Well, that just got stronger, that group of players, which is huge news. How fit either of them will be remains to be seen. I highly doubt that any of them will start the game today, but to have those options is a huge boost to Mikel Arteta.
Amazing, Harry. Thank you so much. Looking forward to catching up with you again shortly ahead of Chelsea v Arsenal. Well, we have our commentary back with us to give us a second half of West Ham v Liverpool. If I could welcome back Martin Allen and Sahel Sahi.
Thank you very much indeed, Lauren. Hopefully I was going to say, hopefully the interference has disappeared, but seem to be having technical issues here.
Did you say, are we eating any chocolate?
No.
Okay.
No,
I'll move mine away.
We've got We've got an interference, not quite sure what it is. It's
just been moved, so it's not happening anymore.
So Juff cross.
What an expert technician we've got here with BBC Radio London. Just move your phone and the clicking in my ear will stop, and it stopped.
And it has stopped. That's that's quite bizarre. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I wish you could actually hear what Lauren was saying to Martin and I through our ears. Just move your phone away, boys, and it will all stop. We both have, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it stops for the rest. Rest of the half. You haven't missed much, to be honest, in the second half so far. We've played 7 minutes. It's still West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. As Martin did mention, it is quiet around the London Stadium. The second half is yet to really get going. Neither manager has made any changes. Bowen comes over the halfway line. Gravenberch gives it away. West Ham have possession again in their claret and blue. And now it's Juff just outside the penalty area. Pulls it back for Potts into Fernandes. West Ham with some rare possession out to Wan-Bissaka. And now Wan-Bissaka leaves it for Bowen. Paquetá tries to find Bowen, and there was to no one in particular, Martin.
No, but it was a good phase of play for West Ham where they got possession in the Liverpool half, put some passes around, started to pressure and push Liverpool back, which they needed to do, because they can't just hang on for the whole of this 45 minutes and hope that Liverpool don't make one of their chances happen. So I'm sure the manager of West Ham, Nuno, will be happy with that phase of play, even though it was a poor pass from Paquetá on the edge of the box.
Yeah, still 0-0 then, and that's the voice of Martin Allen on Total Sport, BBC London DAB, and across the BBC Sport website on this Sunday afternoon. West Ham with possession, attacking from right to left, out to Bowen it goes. Trying to take Kirkes on the outside, heads towards the dead ball line, does get a cross in, deflected and looped over the crossbar by Van Dijk. Not sure who he's pleased with. He turned around, opened his arms up in a V shape, and he's having a word with Wirtz, but it's a corner to West Ham. 8 minutes played in the second half. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. Martin Allen.
I really do feel as if West Ham are going to be able to score here, it will come either number one from a set play or number two from some incisive 1v1 play, like we've just this second seen from Bowen going against Kirkes, the lad from Hungary. 1v1, I don't think he's a good defender, and I can see Bowen winning this game for West Ham down that right hand side.
Corner taken by Potts, low into the near post. It's headed away by Gakpo. Fernandes sends it back. Todibo wins the second header. Potts this time on the half volley tries to almost slam his cross into the penalty area. Came off Kirkes, spins out of play, and it's a throw-in to West Ham. Paquetá will go and take it level with the edge of the penalty area over on that far side, which is West Ham's right in this second 45 minutes. Still awaiting the first goal of this match-up between West Ham and Liverpool. Paquetá. Sorry, Martin.
And as we mentioned a minute ago, it's West Ham, the whole of the West Ham team, apart from the goalkeeper, is in the Liverpool half, attacking their end, waiting for an opportunity to get in. Whereas in the first half, it was the other way round. So, and here we are with Bowen on the right-hand side of the box.
Fernandes to Bowen. Bowen wants to get on his left foot. He did do so, but it was blocked by three Liverpool players, and it's spun away. Another corner. Good pressure from the home side. Goalless so far.
Yes, goalless so far, but an improvement for sure in this first, 10 minutes now. 10 minutes, a massive improvement in the West Ham performance. I can still see Bowen getting some joy.
Yeah, short to Paquetá, curls it to the far post. Konate leaps up, heads it out of play for another corner, but this time on the near side, the left-hand side for West Ham. Good pressure from West Ham, Martin.
Yeah, good pressure, and now we've got a right-footed in-swinger, and I called it Beckham-like earlier, and now we've got Potsy to hopefully whip this across that 6-yard box, get over the first two defenders that stood at the near post for Liverpool, get over them, and then see one of our players touch it, a little glancing header into the bottom corner.
It's Potts who raises two arms skywards. That's definitely a signal for something. Here it comes to the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed away by Isak. Comes out now to Fernandez. Stops and rolls it back to Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line. Plays it through the centre circle to Magassa and out to Paquetá. Paquetá tries to pick out Konate. It was a measured forward ball, but Konate read that really well. He tried to pick out Bowen. Paquetá with a nice flick now to Fernandez. Fernandez onto Bowen. Bowen 5 yards away from the dead ball line, over on that far right hand side. Rolls it back to Fernandez. Infield to Paquetá. Wan-Bissaka flicks it. Tries to flick it round the corner. Falls to Konate by his own dead ball line, and he just clears it out to play. I think something he's learnt from his midweek mishap against Eindhoven. Just clear the ball out of play when you're unsure.
And that goalie from Tottenham last night, did you see that one by the touchline?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Just get it away. Get it away. First thing. Potts now to Diouf. Floodlights slowly coming on here at the London Stadium.
There's a lot of them, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. The sunlight slowly disappearing. Gets dark around about 3:58. Paquetá with an effort. That was ambitious. Decent try. Always going wide. His fellow countryman Alisson watched it go wide of his near post, but clever from Paquetá. Goal kick to Liverpool. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. Here are the thoughts of Martin Allen.
Yeah, it was a 30-yard volley from Paquetá. Very similar actually to the 30-yard volley that I played or scored for West Ham against Liverpool at Upton Park. However, my one went in.
And that was between 1989 and 1995.
I don't know when it was. I'm
Yeah.
useless on dates.
Cross comes in, well cleared away by Mavropanos. That was good defending. While Martin and I were chewing the fat.
You were giggling because I brought up my goal.
Yeah, I did. And I was telling you the years that you played for West Ham. And Mavropanos defended that cross really well.
He did. It was a counter-attack from Liverpool. First one of the half. Fair play to them. They had to step it up because... and now we've got, as is the fashion, Joe Gomez has gone from right back down here in front of us all the way over to the left wing. And he's doing the good old-fashioned... Neil Warnock style long throws into the West Ham box.
Taking his time. He's, I'd say, 5 yards away from the corner flag. Here it comes. It's low and it's flat. It's dealt with by Mavropanos. Gomez picks it up back to Wirtz. Referee Darren England got in the way of him. Wirtz wanted to get it on his left foot. Pokes it forwards. Gakpo one side, but he crosses nonetheless. And Liverpool have taken the lead. And it's Isak with a deadly finish. That's why they signed him. That's why he cost a lot of money. His first Premier League goal for Liverpool. And just like that, just before the hour mark, it's West Ham 0, Liverpool 1.
Well, it's come from the long throw. We laughed and joked about it, but it got headed out, which was a good defending. But then the second phase, Liverpool regained the ball straight away. Incisive pass inside the 6-yard box. Cut back, and Isak has hit a half volley. Brilliant half volley into the bottom corner, unstoppable from the goalkeeper. Absolutely brilliant goal. It really is a fantastic finish, a very difficult finish. There's no way the goalkeeper, in my opinion, could have got that one. It's a great finish, and it's come after a really good 15-minute phase of play from West Ham. They're best in the game, and we find ourselves behind.
He showed his class there, Isak. Composed finish as Martin described it. Areola was moving to his left and he had to go to his right, and it sneaked between him and the near post. We've finally seen the first goal of the afternoon coming on the hour mark, and it's Liverpool who've taken the lead here at the London Stadium in the capital. West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. Total Sport across BBC London DAB and the BBC Sport website. Paquetá and McAllister. No love lost there between a Brazilian and an Argentinian. And it's McAllister who was actually watching Paquetá. Paquetá was watching the ball, and it's a free kick for Liverpool.
I don't think there was anything in that. Certainly wasn't a yellow card. I think it was unlucky that it was a foul. And what we haven't mentioned today, who's warming up now they've scored, is Mo Salah. So we'll soon see if he can make things worse for Liverpool.
Yeah, one of 4 players dropped to the bench by Arne Slot after the real low point on Wednesday night, losing in the Champions League at home to PSV Eindhoven. Liverpool took the lead in that game, but lost by 4 goals to 1. They're in the lead this afternoon. Good 30 minutes still to play. They're coming forward with Kirkes, just a couple of yards away from the dead ball line, wins a corner off the shins of Wan-Bissaka, and that early momentum for West Ham, Martin, seems to have died out.
Yeah, it has, and it's the crowd have clearly gone quiet, which you would expect when your team goes 1-0 down, and the players obviously with the you could say questionable confidence mindset after what has been a good 3 games, 7 points in the 3 games, which is always a very, very good average. But they'll be looking at now to try and get something back. Just 1 point out of this game would be outstanding if they could manage that.
Corner swept in, Areola backpedaling, gets his right hand to it. Grazed off his hand. Magassa stops the ball from running out of play and just clips it down the left hand side for Paquetá to chase. But Wirtz and Kirkes were coming back to defend for Liverpool. And we've got changes about to happen for West Ham, and it's Guilherme, the young Brazilian, is going to come on. He's a midfielder, attacking midfielder, so a positive change needed by Nuno. It looks like he's going to make it. So Liverpool fans, it's the first time we've heard them today.
To be fair, Liverpool fans clapped all the way through the minutes, clapping applause for Billy Bonds, and fair play to all of them for recognising that and respecting it as well. I was impressed with that, with all the Liverpool supporters over there behind the goal. Fair play to them.
Very knowledgeable support, but here comes Potts and West Ham, just outside the penalty on the right hand side. Bowen with a cross, there's no one in the 6-yard box, and it runs through the penalty area and out of play. That's better from West Ham, but needed Callum Wilson and even Juff on this left hand side latching onto that cross, Martin.
Yeah, well that as I said earlier, that is the area with Jared Bowen. He's gone past him twice now like he wasn't there, and the Liverpool left back looks like he's limping. So it looks like there's an opening and a gap for West Ham. If we can isolate him, change the direction of the play, switches of play, get him on it against that left back, and I think we can still. There's still a long way to go in this game. We're still doing okay, you know.
If you missed it earlier, Crystal Palace lost to Manchester United by 2 goals to 1. They took the lead in the first half through a Mateta penalty, but then Xerxes and Mount sealed the points for Manchester United. Aston Villa 0, Wolves 0 in the Premier League, and Nottingham Forest trailing at home to Brighton by 1-0. Likewise here at the London Stadium between West Ham and Liverpool, 1-0 to the Merseysiders. Isak with his first Premier League goal for Liverpool. The difference between the two sides. Got 25 minutes to play, still plenty of time, as Martin alluded to there, and it's a change imminent for West Ham. Louis Guilherme, who started last week against Bournemouth, he is about to come on for West Ham. It'll be interesting to see.
I think he'll be coming on for Fernandes.
Martin Allen thinks. Let's see if Nuno agrees. It's a free kick for Liverpool to the and it's the first yellow card of the afternoon as well, and it's gone to Magassa. He's got himself around the pitch.
I didn't think that was a yellow card. Was it?
I don't think so either. For me, I think he won the ball actually, but slightly over the top, but he won the ball.
I thought he clearly got the ball. I think the referee's made a mistake. I didn't even think it was a foul, and he's come away with a caution. But now Guilherme coming onto the pitch, I think he'll play on this left-hand side and see if he can get at Gomez, who has done all right at right back, but I think he's more of a centre-back.
Free kick for Liverpool, which is taken. And Liverpool are going to make a change as well. Hugo Ekitike is going to come on. Let's cross over to Stamford Bridge for team news ahead of Chelsea against Arsenal with Harry Symeou.
Thank you very much, Sahel. Some interesting team news. Cole Palmer returns to the bench for Chelsea and João Pedro starts up top. So it's Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Fofana, Chalobah and Cucurella across the back. James and Caicedo in midfield with Esteval Neto either side of Enzo Fernandez with João Pedro leading the line. For Arsenal, some big news too. Victor Gyökeres and Gabriel Jesus return to the squad, but they are without William Saliba, who's picked up an injury in training, which means Nkapie and Mosquera are the central defensive pairing. Gabriel Martinelli comes back into the 11 as well. He'll play from the left-hand side, so it's Raya, Timber, Mosquera, Nkapie, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Eza, Saka, Martinelli and Marino.
Thank you very much indeed, Harry. Harry will keep us across Chelsea versus Arsenal on BBC London throughout this evening. That game kicking off at 4:30 with the home of London football, BBC Radio London. We're on the website for this commentary as well. That's big news emerging out of Stamford Bridge, Martin Allen. Second choice centre halves, Mosquera and Nkapie played. Saliba out injured as well, and we know Gabriel is missing as well. Chance for Chelsea maybe.
Yes, it's with Cole, what's his name?
Palmer.
Cole Palmer coming back. He's a decent player and he'll be raring to go. Chelsea have picked up a bit of form. So yeah, as you rightly say, for Chelsea, for Arsenal to be losing or missing two centre-backs of the quality that those two are, that is a big loss. But they've got momentum, they've got power, they've got speed, they've got substitutes, they've got a squad, they've got everything that's needed, all the tools, I think, and experience of being at the top. I think they'll do it this time.
So while Harry was giving us that team news, change was made by both managers, one apiece. So Louis Guilherme is on for Magassa. Magassa made way, picked up a yellow card, so he's being replaced. And Isak, who scored his first goal for Liverpool in the Premier League, changed for Hugo Ekitike, another man who cost a bob or two for Liverpool in the summer.
How much was he?
He was just shy of £70 million.
Blimey, and he's a sub.
He's a sub, and we just had a picture of Ekitike on the monitor in front of us.
Yeah.
Isak, beg your pardon. He looked disappointed to be hauled off by his manager. You'd imagine so, with a good finish, just finding his rhythm. And now he's sitting on the bench, but that's the life as a Liverpool player. There's such competition in these teams right across the Premier League. But here's Guilherme for West Ham, approaching the final 20 minutes of this game. West Ham trailing at home to Liverpool by 1-0. This is Fernandez just outside the penalty on the right hand side, plays the ball back infield. Paquetá has it, tries to cross right footed, takes the deflection, spins out of play. This is a corner for West Ham. Total Sport on BBC London DAB, and will be right across the Premier League action this coming week as well, starting from Tuesday on BBC London 94.9 FM and DAB. Fulham hosting Manchester City and Spurs away in the northeast against Newcastle. I'll tell you about Wednesday's coverage in a moment. Corner for West Ham, curled towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by the Liverpool defence. Juve backtracking, and now Wan-Bissaka plays it short and square to his right to Fernandez. The edge forward nearly lost control of the ball, and Bowen nearly did likewise, but picks up the ball at the second attempt and then drives towards the dead ball line, tries to get past Kirkes, puts a low cross into the near post, well dealt with very calmly by Van Dijk. Liverpool in the lead, 20 minutes to play, West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. Then on Wednesday our attention will turn to Arsenal against Brentford. Crystal Palace long trip up to Lancashire to take on Burnley at Turf Moor. Chelsea are away at Leeds, so that's Leeds against Chelsea, and then the week ends with West Ham's visit to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Coverage of all of those games across BBC London, either on 94.9 FM or DAB.
This game for the last 10 minutes since Liverpool have scored has been very mediocre. It's been the passing's been average. Liverpool have sunk back into what do they call it nowadays? A low block, or what I would say, everyone behind the ball. And West Ham are trying to thread their way through the needles, if you like, through the gaps in between the lines to try and get a chance or get an opportunity to have a shot, let alone score. And the crowd have just sort of backed off. It's all just a little bit quiet and not really happening, not a real buzz amongst the players or the supporters at the moment. It's just a little bit waiting for something to happen. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally, Martin. If we actually went quiet just for 10 seconds, which is hard on the radio, let's do it.
Okay.
Not much noise, is there?
Hold on, let's make some noise. Billy Bonds, Claret and Blue Army. Billy Bonds, Claret and Blue Army. So as Liverpool make a few passes, but now's probably the best time when Liverpool are attacking for West Ham to counter and get an opportunity. But Jared Bowen's been out-tackled, out-fought,
Kirkes.
by Kirkes again. And he hasn't been on top form for me today, Bowen.
Yep. Aston Villa have taken the lead at home to Wolves. Wolves without a win this Premier League season, trailing at home. Kamara with the goal there. So all of the games at 2:05 have got a goal apiece. Aston Villa 1, Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Brighton 1, all latest scores. And here at the London Stadium with 17 minutes to play, it's West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. Isak with the goal after 60 minutes, and it's West Ham have defended the goal to our right. They're attacking from right to left. Todibo pushed back deep inside his own left full-back area by Wirtz, and Todibo still can't shrug him off. And now it's Juff who just lifts it out of play, and it's a throw-in to Liverpool, to the delight of their supporters to our right. Szoboszlai will take this throw-in. And it's another change about to be made by Arne Slot, and it's Curtis Jones who's going to come on. Liverpool take the throw-in. Gomez rolls it back to Szoboszlai.
What a good substitute that is to have on, Curtis Jones.
Yeah, local.
Yeah.
Liverpudlian.
Good player as well, wasn't he? Good player.
Can play either as a right full-back or in midfield. Wears his heart on his sleeve, and it was a passionate post-match interview after the defeat to PSV Eindhoven in midweek that caught the headlines.
Yeah, very passionate, wasn't it?
Yeah. Such a good response from Jamie Carragher as well in the studio afterwards, and said, I'm not sure why he's talking about running and fighting and scrapping. He should just go out and do it. And that was a little bit untidy by West Ham, and I think unfortunate really, but change about to be made. It's going to be a free kick when we restart. Curtis Jones is going to come on for Florian Wirtz with 15 minutes to play.
And at this moment, I think I'll be absolutely honest, I can't actually see where West Ham are going to get an opportunity, let alone a goal.
Which is rare to say, really, because I always think when I watch Premier League football, you think one of the sides will make a chance. They will carve out an opening, but at this precise moment, you don't see that happening for West Ham.
No, it's the crowd are very flat. The players look flat. I think the only way that he's going to do it is by making some changes and changing the dynamics of the team to bring some fresh legs on and maybe a bit more creative play in the middle of midfield where we've had.
Yeah, this is Ekatike, not far away, just outside the penalty area, just left of the D. He stroked it really, caressed it almost, just bounced past Areola and past the far post. Goal kick. West Ham 0, Liverpool 1.
And here we've got Füllkrug, the German centre forward, coming on. How many goals has he got this season?
He hasn't got a goal this season in the Premier League.
It was a loaded question, wasn't it?
I thought it was. That's why I thought I could see Martin to my left with the little glint in his eye, and I just reached out in my little stat book and I thought, oh, he hasn't got a goal this season in the Premier League. I know. But here comes Guillaume for West Ham. approaching the penalty area. Now to Wilson to his left. It was just flicked away at the vital stage by Konate. Liverpool preserve their lead. And now West Ham win the second ball. Paquetá, central area of the pitch, out to the right hand side to Bowen. Bowen, head down. Needs to find a player in claret and blue. Recycles it back to Mavropanos. Fulkrug being patient. Paquetá with some space outside the penalty area. Now to Bowen on the right hand side. Lifts in the cross. Konate with a header away. Powerful header away by Konate outside the penalty area. Paquetá wins it back. Turns and spins and tries to get his forceful way past two Liverpool players. Doesn't manage to do so. And there's a collision between McAllister and Ekitike. McAllister's on the floor and Callum Wilson coming off Martin Allen. So it's a like-for-like change. And it's Fulkrug who's coming on.
Yeah, I think with Callum, he's finding it difficult to get past the sort of 60-minute mark, so I can understand why the manager would take him off. Also with an eye on the making sure that he doesn't pull his hamstring or get injured, and he's going to be ready and playing in the next game. I think he's played well, Callum Wilson, today, but I can see how the manager's going to freshen it up for the last, 20 minutes of this game and put Fulkrug up there. And hopefully he'll come up with some bit of magic at the far post maybe, and get the supporters back on his side, because he ain't been the best.
No, he got 3 goals last season in the Premier League, none so far. Juff tries to find him inside the penalty area, comes off the back of Gomez, spins out of play for a throw-in for West Ham down this near side, level with the edge of the penalty area, throwing back 10 yards to Potts. And now Todibo on the halfway line, through the centre circle it goes to Mavropanos, quickly goes down by Ekitike. That was clever by Paquetá. Fernandes goes spinning onto the floor, plays allowed to continue. Good by the referee Darren England. Fernandes gets back on his feet, rolls the ball forward using his studs, tries to get his cross off at the second attempt. And now picks out Paquetá. Is he onside? The flag stays down. Paquetá! Oh, Fulkrug wasn't far away, but the flag goes up.
Yeah, it was good play, good incisive play from West Ham there, over on the far right hand side on Bowen's side once again. But after the oohs and the ahs and the header just going wide, the assistant referee raised his flag and it was deemed offside. But I would say that is the sort of standard that's going to lift the supporters and get the fans right behind the team, which can do so much for the mindset and the well-being of the players out there. It can lift them, really lift them.
Just still a single goal in all of the 3 Premier League games that kicked off at 2:05. Aston Villa leading Wolves by a goal to nil. Brighton winning on their travels at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest by a goal to nil. Liverpool doing likewise here at the London Stadium. West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. We've got 10 minutes of normal time to play, plus stoppages. Isak, the difference maker so far. He's been replaced by Ekitike. That goal coming on the hour mark. This is the home of London football, Total Sport, across BBC London, DAB and the BBC Sport website. Watching West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. West Ham in possession with Paquetá out to Wan-Bissaka. Midway inside Liverpool's half, over on that far right hand side. Wan-Bissaka comes in field, then stop, flicks it to Bowen, wants a quick 1-2, gets it back. Controls on his chest, tries to fire in a cross on the half volley, cleared away by Kirkes to Ekitike, lays it off to Jones. He's quickly closed down by 2 West Ham players, but Gravenberch helps him out. Jones in some space inside the centre circle. This is better from both sides, a bit more like it. It's not been the best watch so far. We've had our moments, but overall, as Martin Allen has described, it's been poor quality between these two sides. But Liverpool lead and they have possession again. McAllister now to Gravenberch, slowed the pace of the game down. Most of the West Ham players apart from Fulkrug behind the ball. Now Szoboszlai, Ekitike just inside the penalty, right hand side, wants to carve out some space. You could almost see him wanting to fire off his shot, right footed, Juft as well. Szoboszlai just pushes him over in front of the assistant referee. That was always going to be a free kick to West Ham.
Yeah, he played it very well, Juve. He saw Ekitike coming in for the challenge, went across the front of him, waited for the shove, went down like he'd been sniped, and here we are with a long free kick to the side of the 18-yard box by Areola, right up to the front to Fulkrug, and let's see if he can get up and win the header. No.
He doesn't. Szoboszlai gets there, and Szoboszlai is fouled by
Fulkrug. Just booted him. Like, what are you doing that for?
It's a yellow card for
Mouthing.
Paquetá.
Yeah, Paquetá's having a go at the referee for the decision and swinging his arms. You better be careful. If you do that once more.
Referee will show him a second yellow. He hasn't stopped, by the way. He's still following the referee. Suspended last week for 5 yellow cards. He's picked up the yellow card needless. He's going all the way over to the referee.
Someone needs to get hold of him and pull him back and say, behave yourself.
He's not the captain, and these days it's only really the captain. He still hasn't stopped. He's saying why. He's very close, Martin, to receiving a second yellow card. I think Darren England's told Jared Bowen,
and
get him away.
It's interesting, the Liverpool goalkeeper has run 40-50 yards to his Brazilian teammate Paquetá,
telling him
to say, "Oi, shut up, will ya?" Which is much needed. But at the moment, one of the Liverpool players, the Hungarian left back, who I've mentioned a few times.
Oh no, it's a second yellow card, and it is a red card for Paquetá. He's talked himself into a sending off,
and he's now clapping.
And he's clapping, and he's walking off the pitch, but he stopped and he's going back. And Nuno Espirito Santo has just looked down on the surface, and he's to the right of the West Ham United badge. And I think he quite can't believe. I don't think no one can believe what has just happened. Paquetá was booked for back-chatting to the referee, and he didn't stop. This went on for another minute. He chased the referee. He walked to him. He was 60 yards away. He still hasn't left the pitch. This is poor from Paquetá, Martin.
Yep, shocking behaviour, shocking conduct. If he was the manager, you would not be happy. The manager stood over on the right of the technical area so he doesn't have to shake his hand or say... and now Paquetá's coming off as we speak and gone towards the 4th official now. 4th official on the side of the pitch. He's having it out with the 4th official. Surely to God, someone's got to get hold of him and get him down the tunnel. Behave yourself, man, and show some respect. It's not acceptable. Shocking behaviour.
And now he's going off, he's clapping. Some West Ham supporters, they don't appreciate that. And actually I do respect that. There's a couple of West Ham supporters either side of the tunnel here at the London Stadium in this main stand. They got up and they voiced their displeasure at Paquetá. He was suspended last week, his 5th yellow card against Bournemouth. He'll be missing the game against Manchester United this Thursday, because that's a 1-match ban, 2 yellow cards. But he talked himself into that red card.
Shocking discipline, shocking. I'm sure this manager won't like that. He won't tolerate that sort of behaviour. You can't have that. You can't have players missing for all those games. You just can't.
Sandy Robertson has come on. Kirkes has been replaced for Liverpool. West Ham down to 10 men. Got 5 minutes of normal time to play plus any time to be added on. Ekitike's down, holding his left knee. Play's been stopped, and he'll be seen to. And this, let's just see the incident. Ekitike trying to get in between Mavropanos and Wan-Bissaka, and
it was a foul.
Yeah, he's okay, which is nice to see. Yeah.
Do you want my comment on that? No, I won't comment on that one. He was down injured, and you know where I was coming from.
Yeah, I know.
Now here we are, long ball up into the box. West Ham have got 10 players fighting for an opportunity.
Sent forward, Van Dijk underneath it. It's now fallen to Gravenberg dispossessed by Guilherme, and now Diouf on this left hand side. Todibo finds himself high up the pitch, calls a cross in. Wan-Bissaka on the dead ball line tries to loop it back in right footed. It's tidied up by Szoboszlai, but Fernandes wins it back. Clock's ticking down, we've got 3 minutes to play. West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. Isak, the goal scorer. The difference is Thomas Souček gets ready to join the action. This is the home of London football, BBC London DAB and the BBC Sport website. More Premier League football to come throughout this week on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Full crew. Now to Bowen! Not far away, left footed. Best moment of this second half from West Ham. And their captain came close to equalising. Goal kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, edge of the 18-yard box. Ball's rolled along at perfect speed and he's left-footed. How we know he does it, side-footed. And it's missed the goalpost, by a yard. So he'd be disappointed he didn't score, because opportunities at this level are so few and far between, especially with 10 players. But he'll be disappointed that he didn't make that happen. And the substitute's been made, and Bowen, it looks like, has been pushed inside. So that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Thomas Souček on for Freddie Potts for these final few minutes of the game. That was the moment, wasn't it, Martin? We were talking about, we can't see West Ham carving out a chance, let alone taking one, but that was the chance.
Yeah, and you've got to give a lot of credit, which I would do, is to Füllkrug for battling in the 18-yard box against 3 defenders, coming out with the ball, then a slide tackle. The ball fell out to Bowen, but it was Füllkrug's good work up in the centre forward position, like I say, against 3 defenders, and he done extremely well.
Yeah, the ball's now run out of play. Clock ticks away. We've got just over 70 seconds of normal time to play. West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. And as I did mention before the ball ran out of play, it's a free kick to West Ham. More Premier League football Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Of course, BBC London 94.9 FM and your DAB digital radio. West Ham next in action on Thursday night, away to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Fulham hosting Manchester City on Tuesday. Tottenham on their travels on Tuesday away at Newcastle. Crystal Palace will make the long trip up to Lancashire to take on Burnley. It's Leeds against Chelsea, and Arsenal hosting Brentford. Free kick taken. Alisson gets a hand to it, but it comes off his right hand and just fizzes outside the penalty area. Tidied up by Gravenberg. And Mavropanos first to it. A little bit more urgency from 10-man West Ham. 10-man because Paquetá shown 2 yellow cards in the 83rd minute for basically talking back to the referee. So he'll be missing for the trip to Old Trafford on Thursday. 4th official telling us we've got 5 minutes of stoppage time to play. 5 minutes for West Ham to find an equaliser. Can they salvage something from this game and keep their unbeaten run going? 3 unbeaten before today. It's in jeopardy now. Liverpool lost 6 of the last 7. Can they get back on the winning trail? Won 6, lost 6. The champions of England. Is this to be 1-7, lost 6, or can West Ham grab a lifeline? Mavropanos.
Well, as we speak, the reason we've gone a bit quiet here is because West Ham have got a lot of possession.
Guilherme to Füllkrug inside the penalty area also, and Van Dijk needs to clear it. He does, beg your pardon, Martin.
Yeah, West Ham have got a lot of possession, but they weren't really making any inroads into the Liverpool defence to get any opportunities. And as we spoke, through they've gone, and we've got half a chance now.
Cross comes in, it's looped up into the safe arms of Alisson.
But the fresh legs have certainly given us a little bit more hope, absolutely sure. But with 10 men, it's going to be very, very difficult, as we all know, just to get an opportunity. So I think the team deserves some credit. I think they've given it everything they've got. Bowen, I think, should have scored from that chance he had a couple of minutes ago, and it would have been very, very different. But overall,
yeah, Liverpool
deserved.
Forward. Szoboszlai gets there before Areola plays it back to Gomez, sends a cross in. This is a chance, and this is the second for Liverpool, and it's Gakpo who seals the points. Cody Gakpo, and with that goal, lots and lots of West Ham fans are heading for the turnstiles. You could see it in the main stand right below as they turned around, and they're leaving in their hundreds. Cody Gakpo with an emphatic finish, sealing the 3 points for Liverpool. West Ham 0, Liverpool 2. He's onside there, controlled it on his chest, central area of the penalty box, turned, and Areola had no chance, Martin.
Yeah, I think Mavropanos, when he sees this back on the video, is going to be particularly disappointed with his effort to clear the ball at the near post. He completely missed it, completely missed the cross. It went to his Ekitike, and then he's smashed it in, but he'll be very, very disappointed with his defending as that cross came in. He's just totally missed the ball. Seriously, you wait till you see it, he totally misses the ball. 2-0, the stadium's now virtually emptied.
Yeah, they're checking the goal, by the way, for a possible handball in the build-up, but I think that has been confirmed. Darren England says yes, so the goal stands, and yeah, it's amazing here at the London Stadium. You really do notice when the supporters leave as Fernandes tries to run through the heart of the Liverpool midfield. And it's tidied up by the visitors' defence, and they come on the counter-attack. Down the left-hand side, Ekitike now. Game slowed right down to walking pace as we approach the final 90 seconds of the 5 that were added on at the end of this game. Disappointing end for West Ham. I think it really all started from that Paquetá sending off, and Bowen with the chance, really the best chance for West Ham, not just in this game but the whole game, Martin.
Yeah, the whole game, yeah. And it's a particularly poignant, sad day with the passing of Sir Billy Bonds. It is a sad day for all West Ham supporters, and I think a lot of us, me included, came here today hoping, expecting for us to beat Liverpool with the poor form that they've shown. But credit to the Liverpool team and to the Liverpool manager. The supporters of Liverpool are in full force right now, and the manager, you know, with all the speculation over his job, the players clearly are struggling with their confidence levels, and they've come down here, they've faced the music, they've battled, they've been strong, they played well first half. They did play well first half, and I think overall, I've got to say, I think Liverpool deserved this victory.
Yeah, well said, Martin. As the clock ticks over to the 95th minute, Gomez almost waiting for the referee to blow the full-time whistle. Brighton have scored a second, leading Nottingham Forest by 2-0, and there goes the full-time whistle, and it's ended West Ham 0, Liverpool 2. Goals from Isak and Gakpo sealing the 3 points. Paquetá shown 2 yellow cards. He was sent off in between the 2 goals, and a deserved win, as you said there, Martin. Liverpool beating West Ham by 2-0.
Yes, I think so, and of course it's been a subdued, I would say, overall atmosphere with, as I said a minute ago, with Billy Bonds. It's been a sad day on and off the field for everybody involved with West Ham.
What do you think Nuno would have made of this performance? Really flat after you think they're coming into this game, 3 games unbeaten, 3 good performances, and really just that one moment from Bowen in the 88th minute.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed, but I don't think he'll be despondent. He'll be very, very disappointed in his Brazilian midfield player, who's of descent blatant dissent to the referee, and then after the yellow card, more outrageous, blatant dissent of the referee in the conduct and behaviour, he will be absolutely fuming with that, because that is not acceptable. You cannot afford to lose players like him, but this amount of games it's going to cost him, he will be furious.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed your company today, Martin. Real pleasure
being with you
to commentate alongside Martin Allen on BBC London Total Sport. Full time here at the London Stadium, ended West Ham United 0, Liverpool 2.